supposed to and all those good things. And I don't have my all of my green room folks transmitting like I did last week. Hope everyone's doing well out there. I'm just putting the last little few touches on our charity. Which we are going to stick with the Special Olympics that we started, mainly because with February being a short month, figured it'd be a cool thing to go ahead and instead of just donating us the $100 from our last session, why not go ahead and make them for the whole month, right? So that is the plan. Hopefully that all worked out okay. Yep. And yeah, here we go. Going live. Let me go ahead and get this thing tweeted. And yeah, here we are. Thanks for joining me. Morning, Kent. How are you doing? Lots of fun stuff today. I don't know how much we're going to get through because this is when the players get to see just how much the DM can wing it. Because there's a very good chance that as much as I think that I'm prepared, I'm not prepared. Because hey, players, what are you gonna do, right? What are you gonna do? I will say, man, I was searching for new music for today's episode because I wanted a really cool, town feel and all that kind of stuff. I was really kind of excited, and I found this great piece of music that I loved, and I'm like, oh, this is so great. I'm going to use this. And then realized that it's like from a famous video game that everyone would immediately recognize other than me, because apparently I just don't do those things. I have not played it, and it was licensed. So we're going to have more piano, but I did add a nice little town background to it because after me getting so excited about that, I was just so sad. But for those who are familiar with it, it was Torga Town, which I guess is from Skyrim, maybe, or Neverwinter Nights, one of those games. But God, what a beautiful piece of music for a town. Other than the fact that it's kind of short to be on loop in the background behind a story, I think people have gone absolutely insane. But what I thought about doing was making it a loop, this little piano piece, and then have the Torga Town music, and then go back and forth between the two. So it'd be about a 6-minute nice loop. But yeah, Torga Town, great music. There's a reason why, because it was for an incredibly famous video game that everyone loves. And there you have it. So for all those fun and exciting things, hey Tanya, Wandering Silence out there, yo, how you doing? I have been building East all week, and I'm excited about it. I've got lots of notes. I got lots of NPCs. I got lots of things. I've got lots of things that I got a lot of just in cases. We'll see how crazy our party decides to be. Who knows? And there you go. We got Tree Hugging Druid, who is at work, unfortunately, again. So she'll be joining us around 3:30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So as soon as I get a Bird versus Plane back in the green room, one of the things we're going to start doing, because today we are back to a 3-hour session because I have Learn by Play, which is back on the D&D channel this evening. I'm playing a new character there, which I can't wait to introduce all of you all to. It's going to be all about me, whether I can keep the voice going, because he's sort of Latin guy. And my problem is my Latin turns into Russian, unfortunately, like everything else. Basically, if you're anything other than being like British or Southern, you turn into Russian, because I don't know why. I just do. I watched too much Rocky and Bullwinkle when I was a kid, I guess. But yeah, so we got that going on. But lots of potential ins and outs today. Bird versus Plains parents are in town and might be they might be running off to go do family stuff, which is cool. But he might be leaving us a little bit early. Like I said, Celia's going to be joining us a little bit late. We're going to try to weave Kel back into the story. So we've got lots of things and stuff and things. But yeah, so that is the plan. As soon as we, like I said, gosh, I look over here at the green room and like everyone's deserted us. We're like by ourselves now. And I know I'm going to be like putting this sweatshirt on and off like 5 times over the course of the broadcast because that's just the reality of my world. It's like I'm cold until I drink my first sip of tea and then I'm hot because tea. We'll see. So we're going to be doing lots of, you know, put it on, take it off. There you go. Hey, we can sell tickets to that, right? Get more viewers. Watch Tall Squall dress and undress for the next 3 hours. Actually, I think you get banned for stuff like that, don't you? But anyway, how's everyone doing out there? Manopause. Oh, I know, dude. Manopause is real. Anyone who doesn't think Manopause is real, it is absolutely real. Shuggy Pixels is very hungover. Oh yeah, I got you. Were you at the party thing, that cookout that Kyle was at, that he was bragging about, that he had gone to? Golly, I don't even know. It's like I've got 4 campaigns now. 3 of which I'm a player in, which is weird. But it's keeping characters like separate and distinct, which gets very tricky. So let me tell the party. Hey guys, like I said, since we've got a bunch of y'all in there, unless you need to run right this second, I'm going to go ahead and pull us in and get introductions going. So yeah, we're going to get our group in here so we can start up. And we're going to head over there. I'll see you guys in just a second. And there we go. We've got live folks on the interwebs and all those things. So, hey, look, it's our cast. They're amazing. We love them all.
It's us.
Still can't actually see you.
Oh.
Well, they're going to see me in a second, but
Okay.
there we
We'll see you one day.
Okay.
go. I need to get folks in their places.
Next.
And there you go, Flexes, Flex Hype. Yeah, Raiders.
Oh.
Hey, Raiders, how you doing?
Hello,
Thank you
lovely
guys
rating
so
people.
much. Welcome.
Welcome, Scrat Crew. I don't know if you guys have an
Scrat
official
Crew
name.
Raid.
Dude.
Flex Raid.
Graticus to the Maximus. Yo.
Yo.
Whoa.
So, per normal, I need to get people in their places. But boy, it was funny. I was watching some of our old episodes. At least I'm not having to resize the cameras every darn time because wasn't that awful.
Now it's just wonderful.
It's amazing, Jay, that we've learned one thing in a whole year of streaming.
And only one. You know, we don't want to overreach. I mean, you know, one thing each year. You know, I'm saying that's a win. I'm marking that as a win in my book. Absolutely. But yeah, let's start introducing folks. We'll go ahead and start with Templar Warden.
Yes, I am Templar Warden. I play Hidden by Axel, the fancy wizard, the excitable, ever curious Mr. I want to know every single thing in the world. Curiosity killed the cat, after all. I'm interested in what's going to happen this session. Last session was fun, but in terms of plot progression, a bit less, but still quite fun. But I'm wondering where we go in this one, considering some of the things I've got here waiting.
Oh yeah, did you see my Twitter?
Yeah.
Cool. Next up, we have Dragons or Cats. You are muted, even though we see you with some sexy new mic. Might want to turn it on first.
Just had to unmute myself. Coming all the way from sexy Australia. Still can't? I have no idea if it's working or not.
It is working. You sound great, dude.
Fantastic.
Actually, you sound smooth.
Smooth jazz. Yeah. We're here for tonight for some smooth jazz
It's
and
swing in the
dragons
morning.
being cats. We were actually having a little tidbit before. Conversational luck. Send your ravens. Taking them now. I'm all the way from Sunny Australia at my friend's house as we just had a Twitch meetup and met a whole bunch of ANZ Sydney and Twitch community members and people, and yeah, they were just all really cool. And so I'm at his place, and I am buying myself one of these mics.
Dude, yeah, are you like in his like sexy like Twitch streaming room?
Yeah, this is like one of my players, like one of my players' house, and it's just perfect. I mean, he's got a small Sydney apartment. It's literally like the kitchen's neck. Like I could hold my arm out and grab something from the kitchen. Yeah,
dude,
one bedroom.
That's like bonus for streaming, man.
Oh yeah, but yeah, I'm going to be playing Ishgrin the Eladrin, and let's see how he goes in another city.
Dude, you're freaking me out with like the smoothness of the delivery, man. I'm loving it.
Get used to it.
So, to go to the absolute opposite end of the spectrum, let's talk to Birds versus Plane.
I have the same mic. Sorry, everybody. I'm Bird versus Plane. I will be playing Itzkatol, the half-elf bard turned gunslinger. And I will be excited to see the Vice back to classic Vice roots as we move out of our anime arc and maybe more into fantasy D&D worlds. But we'll see. I'm going to try to retain just a sliver of anime going forward.
You know,
maybe Iska gets like Goku hair at some point. We'll see. I don't know.
Ooh.
I'm so going to come let me hire something up. Yeah.
Definitely comes impressed.
Put that right into my
That is
DM
how I
notes.
played. That is how I cast Disintegration.
There you go. Alicia.
Hello, I am NNG9. I play Luna, our water genasi monk, who is doing all right. There was a bath and swimming lessons. It's great.
It was fun. Dude, I had a blast last time. I got to tell you guys. It's like we said we would deliver fun for the 50th episode, and while it was not the fun we thought we were going to deliver, we still delivered much fun.
Hashtag Kendall.
Hashtag Kindle.
Anime will
Hashtag
never go
little
away.
miner. Where's your little miner?
I'm done. Move
Speaking of little miners, he's good. He's a guy. He's better than Pie. It's good guy Pie.
I don't want to be associated with this anymore. That 50th episode ruined my image.
Oh, honey.
Or did it make your image?
It was ruined when you joined us.
What is an episode?
No, I think it was improved after.
From our local shade, from the shadiest of us all.
I'm above throwing shade because I'm so bright. Anyway, I'm a good guy Pie, and I brought back the wig for a little bit. The summer months are away, and it's not too hot, so I can manage wearing it, so it's not itchy and all. If I feel like I actually want to go into town at one point, I might grab up some more makeup so I can do the scar and stuff again for everyone. I'll bring back the scar maybe for everyone if I find the time to go into town to pick that up. But the scar of who, you may ask? Well, that's Luck, Goldheart, Adventure Extraordinaire, and do not expecting me to be this boisterous in-game. I have a horrible cold, and it will be wrecking my throat if I keep this up. So we'll be going with a more relaxed look today. But I am a blood hunter extraordinaire still from Elevation Pit.
It is true. So, new exercise routine there, Kyle? Nice. He's just adding to the sexiness, the smooth voice and pit hair, because, what's... Here for you, buddy. I'm right here for you. Speaking of pit hair, let's go back to where our last episode.
Let's go to our lovely wizard.
Our lovely wizard.
No. Didn't we do?
Yeah, no.
We did?
We've introduced
We did.
everyone who's being introduced at this point.
Why do I always think someone has been forgotten? Oh my
I
god.
always do.
And I always think it's Axel for some reason.
What's he got on the writing there? I can't read
I was
that.
going to say we started with
I'm
Axel.
not here. I'm not
Right.
here. Is what he's saying.
Yep, gotcha.
Oh, I see what you did there,
There.
Wandering. I see what you did.
We missed.
Wait,
No,
right
that-
now.
Danny had
Anyway.
I'm not here on the. Yeah.
What? Nope, we're good.
Anyway, so,
We're good.
I don't know what's going on anymore. Pro streaming.
hey, it's only taken us 50 episodes. We
Recap.
only learned one thing. Remember, just one. But anyway, so last episode, after making a harrowing escape from the appearance of a Netherwing and having been trapped pretty much in the vice, looking like they were going to have to spend another 10 to 11 days to get themselves past the central vortex and out the other side, through a long shot harrowing plan, our adventurers faced off against a giant shadow serpent that actually turned out to be a Yuan-Ti in disguise, that then got killed by his master, a giant Netherwing dragon that emerged out of the vortex at the center of the vice. In no small amount of panic, the group made one last couple strikes against the Netherwing, buying themselves time to get through a transport via plants, which had to basically burst through the magical interference that is the vice, and the fact that teleportation in this world is pretty much impossible right now. But through the extraordinary powers of the Indigo Seed, they were able to do this and actually channel the energy of the vice itself to punch their way through. Not to mention an incredible banishment of the Netherwing by our good friend Cilia. Upon arriving on the other side, they found themselves just north of East, the town East, that is basically the terminus, the eastern terminus of the vice. They went into East through the Vice Runner's sort of private gateway, where they found that their guild hall is in fact, or was in fact, the residence of the Viceroy himself, while the Viceroy's highway, the Vice, was being built. This town is actually very well built. It is mainly made of sort of white stucco walls, and as they discovered shortly, also Sylvan stone, which is stone that has been quarried out of the Sylvan Expanse, which is to the south of them. That was the site of the huge conflict that channeled magics of incredible power over centuries in the war between the elves of Sylvanari and the humans of Falcon's Crest. So, they did a little bit of exploring as well as bathing. Tune in, go check the video on demand for bathhouse shenanigans.
Before it gets removed from Twitch.
Before it gets removed from Twitch. It wasn't that bad, but just kind of a throwback to those very first episodes when the group was first on the road, letting their hair down, literally in Axel's case, and then moving on out into the city. A festival is brewing, actually going on. We're still on the same day. But they found themselves looking for information, which took them to a bar known as the Gateway, which, upon meeting its proprietor, one Doc Tyson, told them was, again, one of the original constructions here at the Vice. It was where the Viceroy and the emissaries from the different great guilds and houses and organizations across this land basically would come and drink and make deals, I guess, would probably be the best thing. It's very nice. In fact, probably one of the nicer establishments they've ever been. The most striking feature, though, whereas around the rest of the city, most of the sylvan stone is covered in a limestone sort of stucco white walls. In here, it has been polished to a incredible sheen. Its sort of black mirror-like surface is filled with quartz-like veins, very similar to a lot of the really high-end, very colorful black marbles you'll find like in our modern-day kitchens of nice houses and such. That and a mixture of warp wood. Upon entering, our buddy Iskren realized that this stone, these quartz veins, don't just hold beauty. They actually are sort of frozen, crystallized magic of the weave itself, sort of frozen in time within these stones, having been exposed to so much magic during the war between the elves and the humans. He has been examining the walls intently ever since coming in, almost hypnotized by them, while you guys got the story from an eyewitness of the calamity and the day that the Vice, what you had read about in the letters from the Tome of the Seed, the calamity, the explosion that racked through the Vice and all but simultaneously destroyed the Tieflings' capital city and sort of cultural center of Darixis. So, with that, we will rejoin our party, having just been served their meal. Some people having some Vice curry pie, others having venison, Luna with just some stew. But have just been served by Beverly Tyson, who has headed back to the kitchen. You guys are sitting at the bar, as he pretty much always is doing, as he has all of the servingware here is copper, and as keeping it polished is a full-time job. Doc Tyson has gone back to sort of polishing goblets and mugs as you guys sit there, having been distracted shortly by a group of noblins who passed by the door but did not enter and continued on their way. It was a close call, folks. It was a close call.
They didn't turn the knob to enter, did they?
They didn't turn the knob to enter. Oh, ouch. You hurt me. You bring me pain.
Help me.
Hey, Scroticus. I think I said hello before. I know I greeted you with your host and raid, but just a big hello to you. Anyway, y'all just heard some of these stories by Doc. Raised a glass to his fallen friend, and yeah, what are you guys up to?
And we are actually in East proper now, right? Or no?
You are inside of East. Well, that's one of the things you can actually ask a little bit more about the city. You have only seen a very small portion of it. Basically, the Vice Runners Guild House went out onto a thoroughfare. You went basically 2 blocks up the road and then turned into the gateway. So as far as the whole city, certainly you haven't seen all of it. From judging by the outside of it, not even a tenth. Just a little bit of even the arc of the wall that you saw that you have actually experienced at this point. So certainly you could gather some more information on just more about the city itself.
Where are the brothels?
Doc sort of looks at you and goes, well, what exactly are you looking for, dear? Specifically, we have several different options. In fact, one is all but connected. We share the same roof. You'll need to go around through the courtyard, but
My preference runs exotic.
That would be the place then. It's called the Gilded Rose.
Sorry, I was looking at the chat and I can't. Thank you. She'll wait for everybody else, though. Wants to know. She.
Okay.
Iskrin, before the doc goes away, Iskrin's going to tug on his sleeve and basically just say, do you have serves of bacon?
Usually just for our breakfast, but if you're in the mood, I can see what Beverly can put together for you.
Bacon sounds really good right now. Yeah.
Beverly, you've got bacon back there? Throw some on for our interesting friend.
Just wide-eyed and glowing in happiness. A little bit of glitter off the side of his head.
Anything to drink for you?
Ooh, I look at the drinks that are on the table and just point to the one that Luck has.
Luck actually has like 7 in front of him.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he has all the. So you just have the
He has all the beers.
So
He ordered the menu.
The coldest then?
For sure. And he turns around and pours you a mocking jackal pilsner, hands it over. That one we find best served cold.
Ooh. And he slurps hard. Also, Jeanette sent me a message saying Celia would like to tell the group in full detail how it feels to fly.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, no.
In the experience that we shared.
So, Iskrin had sort of been examining the walls while everyone else had been sitting at the bar, and so he's now come over and ordered some bacon and that. And Celia grasps his hand, sort of, and holds it. And you won't believe it. I flew. With Iskrin. In a, she looks at you, past life? It's amazing. This is... We have to get it back. We have to get it back.
we will do our best.
One day we can all fly on back of dragons together. That'll be fun.
I want to see that day. Whatever it takes. Speaking of which, who has the scale? I believe Luna picked it up.
Luna has it.
Do you literally have it on you?
Yeah.
Okay. Not in the wagon, not in the bag of holding.
No, actually, because I never put it in there, so she
I didn't
literally
think
has
you
it on
did. I
her.
just wanted to double check.
Yep.
Like the ring.
Make a perception check. God damn it. I'll pay later. Whatever.
But yeah, Celia just sort of gets a little dreamy-eyed as she's recalling the experience. You know, the wind, describing the wind blowing through her hair, and you know that sense of exhilaration of just the power and being able to see that far, the incredible landscapes. It's awe-inspiring.
sounds. Yeah, this sounds like something that'd be great if we could do that. Axel seems a bit distant. He's sort of thinking of something. Yeah, we can't do that. Now we're going to have to wait until we've got things sorted out, of course. Yeah. He does seem a little bit very uncertain about what he's doing, but he's going to start digging into his pie or the curry.
Of course.
Is it good and spicy?
It is good and spicy. In fact, it is so good and spicy, you need to do me a Constitution check, not a saving throw. Ooh. Okay, Kent, we'll definitely get to that. Kent has donated $25 for a Agatha bag item to our good buddy, Dragons or Cats. But we will...
Kent,
let's go ahead
the
and roll
man,
that now.
the myth, the legend. Thank you, buddy.
He of the sexy voice.
They are still asleep. I'm trying to be courteous.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking about that.
That's right. Their room is literally
so
12
this
steps
is
down.
from Warwick's. Oh, no, not... Warwick's Wondrous Wares. So, I need you to give me a D58. Roll me a D58. An 18. Let's see what that's going to be.
Yeah, I still know how to do this, I think.
Ooh, okay, that's going to be interesting.
It always is.
Huh. That's really interesting. Dice. Gotta love them. Speaking of which, I need to do one thing really quick. I will be back in half a second. Actually, Alicia, talk about our station in charity. We're sticking with Special Olympics through the end of the month.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, welcome everybody. If this is your first time, welcome for the first time. If you're returning, welcome back. This channel is run 100% for charity. This month's charity, as Jay mentioned, is for Special Olympics. Feel free to go ahead and click the link to go to the website. It's a great organization, event. Please click for details. If you choose to donate to Special Olympics through our channel, we have varying levels below. There are standard levels, like giving a character a D10 healing die or an advantage, a natural 20, so on and so forth. And our $50 item this month is a mystery item that you will decide with the DM. Ooh, it's special.
It is. So,
But, go ahead.
go ahead.
Nope, it's fine.
So anyway, Special Olympics are coming up. Lots of events in your area that for you guys to get involved with. I was amazed when I went and clicked on my local chapter, the amount of events that are available. So yeah, definitely give them a check out. If you're not able to donate monetarily, lots of options to donate for time. Great organization to get involved with, both for awareness about bullying and just doing great things for a great group of kids out there. Axel, it's not so much that you can't handle the spice as it's just not what you were expecting. And it a little bit gets up your nose and you kind of get that spice up the nose sneezy thing, but it's not like it's too hot. It's just kind of like it was just not what you were expecting because it's a little bit different than curries and other hot dishes that you've had in the West. Now that you're over in the East, it's sort of a different style of cooking for you.
I was expecting the Noblin.
Yeah, you were expecting Noblin hot. This is, it's that curry with, multiple, kind of like these cinnamonies and, not hot spice, but more like, almost like chai spicy type idea. But, so Luna, as the others talking specifically while Celia is talking about flying, you're sort of sitting there towards the end and looking at the stone of the walls. And your attention just keeps sort of getting drawn to it. And while you're not able to see the magic or anything like Iskrin can, it's just it's late afternoon. You've had this bath for the first time after a long time. The sun, as it's the afternoon sun, as it sort of comes in through the front door, just sort of illuminates the area, and just even people passing by the door, clouds as they go by, just sort of almost becomes hypnotic in the patterns of the quartz running through the stone. And it's almost like the colors and the veins of these, what Iskrin has told you is crystallized magic, almost seem to be pulling you in. What is your wisdom saving throw modifier?
My wisdom saving throw modifier is... yeah, that was my great 3.
I'm rolling this here because I don't want anyone to see it. I've rolled you a wisdom saving throw.
Sure.
As you're looking at the walls, for anyone else, it would almost be like drowning. But for you, that's not an experience that you know of. It's more like claustrophobia. You find you can't get your breath. You feel like you're in a small room that just keeps getting smaller and that you can't get out of. And you start seeing not just the reflections of light on the stone, but almost energy that looks like it's dancing across the surface. And then you feel, again, this tightness in your chest, but it's like warmth. And then it's almost like there's a light from there. And there in front of you, you see emerge out of the stone, struggling almost to push through its surface. It's just an outline made of this energy. A face. It's a face you don't recognize, but they have glowing eyes and unmistakable flaming hair. And in a silent plea, without any sound, you can read its lips. And it says, "Help us." And then gets pulled back into the stone. And in a blink, it's over. And you hear everyone sort of talking, eating their meals. Stone looks just the way that it did before. Give me a perception check. As you sort of look around a little bit, you do see there is a receding glow coming from the sphere of the tides that hangs around your neck.
Luna's gonna get up, a little sudden, make sure she pays for her meal. I will see you all later. And leave.
Be safe.
Okay. What's everyone else doing as Luna gets up?
I would like to. Ishka basically turns to everyone after she leaves and just says, "So the tieflings were cleansed, blown, destroyed in his tale? their patron basically cut away from them? What could that mean? How? You can't just summon a patron and then erase it.
Well, because it happened. It happened in Darxus, and it happened at the camp. I think it was at the camp on the far side of the wheel, the far side of the vice, and that's where the groups of them were. So that it didn't just affect. It was just groups of them. Maybe it was not individuals. So, but is it? So they lost the patron. How does that work? I kind of know the theory, but I don't know much more about the like how do you even get power from the patron?
It's like a siphon. It's a two-way channel, direct link between two. But it's not like the arcane ways. It's not like the innate magic. It's a transference. It's like a network, a grid. You wouldn't know what a network is. No, wait, yeah, you would. You would.
Well, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
But
Why would I doubt you, Axel? I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some things I might not know, and sometimes I do know. But yeah, I do know what a network is. I mean, that kind of applies in general to things. Maybe because it was sort of too much power from the patron, and maybe unleashing the power of the patron being destroyed, or deciding to cut itself off. Because if the patron is knowledgeable, it could technically do that.
That's true. It could definitely reverse its effects and take back its magics. But he made it sound like...
No, because it didn't sound like that. It didn't.
It sounded like the patron just got brought and annihilated. But...
Are the Netherlings capable of that much power? I don't even know what the patron is or was, or we don't even know what it is.
That is one thing I want to find out. Who is the tieflings of Doraxis? Who is their patron? Who was? And the tiefling that travels with us wants to go there, correct?
Belturin, yeah.
Yeah.
But he might tell us, yeah. Maybe later we got the day.
Yeah.
Is Doc still nearby?
Doc's, yeah, he's right here.
Iska wants to flag Doc down after listening to this and just ask, "Hey, Doc, oh shoot, never mind. I forgot Axel noticed the painting and Iska didn't. That's player knowledge, not character knowledge. Never mind. The tieflings were painted over."
Axel kind of mentioned that he could say that.
Okay.
He said, "Oh yeah, it's not the original painting."
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Not the original.
Then yeah.
Doc talking about it. So.
Then yeah, Iska wants to ask Doc, "Hey Doc, is there somewhere in East where history hasn't been rewritten like this, where the tiefling influence hasn't been completely destroyed?"
Well, down to the south, there is the abandoned area that they were using to live in while the construction device was going on. People say it's haunted, so no one goes there. It's just to the other side of the Grand Eastern Station. You can't miss it. It's the largest building in town. It's bigger than a cathedral. It was to be the shining gemstone where their land ships would come in and leave from. An amazing building. It is built much like this bar, entirely out of sylvan stone, polished to like a mirror. It is something to see, apparently, but it has been boarded up and shut down for at least the last 60 years. No one goes in anymore. You know, people think the tieflings are cursed, and superstitions sometimes keep people away more than even greed. It's inside the wall, of course.
You could try.
It's a start.
Yeah, it shouldn't be something that's forgotten.
Absolutely.
And you said it was, the rumors say it's haunted?
Cursed, haunted. Many of the tieflings who were stricken that day, the warlocks, they didn't survive for long after. Apparently it was too traumatic of a incident. They all but withered away, being cut off.
Okay, so they were cut off, but still doesn't explain that the destination set caused it.
I have two ideas on that theory, but I'm not 100% on it.
Yeah, 100% on anything.
Mr. Bacon Man. Oh, absolutely, Eva. Mr. Bacon Man. Tieflings, you said you were around for them.
Yes.
When it happened. Do you know who granted them their energies, their power, their magic? Who was their patron?
They didn't say. I'm not aware of who it was. I don't think it was something that they often talked about, other than that the power came from Darixus, where the Grand Warlocks were.
Interesting. Okay. And the second sun.
Yes, it lit up the sky as though it was sunrise, even though it was already well into the evening.
That sounds like a major battle. Either that or a sweeper going kaboomy.
He kind of looks at you like he doesn't know what you're talking about. It was a flash and then gone.
Oh,
We
yeah,
didn't
that
know
happened.
until later what had occurred.
Did the warlocks have many enemies?
Well, I mean, the reason the wall was completed before the city was because of the saboteurs who continually were harrying the construction of the Vice. While there was never any evidence, most felt that it was from the Arcana Mystica, as they controlled the teleportation network, just as, once the airships went away, suddenly they had a monopoly back. To lose it again.
Ah, they were jealous. Aww. Oh, I understand. That's when wizards are getting jealous. Aww. That's. Why would they get jealous? Why?
Money. Cookies. Everyone wants cookies.
Oh. Oh. Huh.
And they control transport, they control communication, they control everything. And I mean, power control is...
Control magic.
People want it.
Yeah, no, that's not how it works, unfortunately. Anyone can be powerful through magic. You can't just control it. Like, even in your arcane ways,
Nope.
You
Well,
pluck.
knowledge is power, is it not?
Isn't
Yes,
that
yes.
true?
Yeah,
Not
not
true
just power,
now.
but... Yeah. I was meaning they control the people by using magic.
Oh. I'm sorry, I misunderstood that. Why would they do such a mean thing?
Because you get lots of things out of it.
Keep on getting told these bad things about this Arcana Mystica. I just don't like them anymore.
As an organization, they don't seem particularly popular or liked, but they're still around, so must be something about them. I mean, we kind of wandered off here. What are we talking about?
Doctors, patrons. And
Oh, yeah. We were, because we were wondering if we could figure out how anything about the calamity and why it happened and what happened. Did anyone study it?
Oh,
after it
many
happened.
have studied. The Arcana Mystica made it their work to try to, after the calamity, you have to remember, wasn't just these dreams that was severed. The whole world as we know it dropped into these times where no teleportation, the trade fell apart for the last 72 years. They say that they've been trying to piece together, but that things had been damaged so badly by the warlocks that it was not easy.
Damage. Perhaps if anyone perhaps they didn't want the Arcana Mystica, and they did deliberate. That's a long shot. But no point in looking in game, trying to find out things. But yeah.
I think there's
you might help out.
many secrets. Just like, he points to the ceiling, history is written by the survivors.
I look up at the ceiling and study it thoroughly.
Yeah. Because I heard a different phrase. History is written by victors. In this case, I would say the victors would be the Arcana Mystica, but you're saying survivors.
Survivors, victors.
Well, there's two different.
You have to assume that there was a battle. You have to remember, Arcana Mystica pleads innocent in all of this.
No, that's definitely a lie.
That's not true. Well, if they're innocent, they certainly took advantage of it. Because otherwise, why do people? Well, I would say victors, because tieflings didn't win anything after that. They are the survivors, so they would have their version, and everyone else has their version to run.
So only a matter of perspective.
Yes, and I want to find out both perspectives, because that would be most likely to give you the truth. Not necessarily either of them are true. Neither of them are anywhere near. But to find out, I mean, that's kind of yeah.
You aren't the first who've tried to find this. Apparently, a group who's been looking as well. Moving unseen around us. Finding and keeping the secrets. I might
have heard of them. Yeah, I sort of heard I've heard of a couple of rumors. Yeah, I was well, I mean, if I could ever run into them, it would be great. I'd ask them so many questions, but I don't think it would be easy if they're secret. Well, yeah.
I wish you luck.
Yes, so thank
in
you.
your search. Who knows what secrets are right in front of us, but we just don't know. We can't see them.
Yeah, I've heard that one before. He goes back to finishing his curry, but he's trying to put things together.
Ishrin's just looking up at the roof, just piling bacon into his mouth. And
yeah, on close inspection, you can see where obviously there are almost half the figures, if not more, are in a different style and certainly less finely done than the others, where the tieflings have all been painted over. You know, strange shaped hats they all that over half the people seem to be wearing, etc. You know, apparently hats were in big fashion back then.
Don't hate on the hat gang.
Yeah.
That's real business.
Thank you.
And so Iska, you just listening in here?
I mean, Iska's been listening in, and then I think puts forward eventually when Axel and Iskrin kind of come to a close, just before we leave, I think we should go to that. It's like a neighborhood, he described it as, like an abandoned neighborhood?
Yeah, pretty much. It's the district where all of the tieflings workers were housed.
I think we should go to the district. Iskrin, maybe you can see something with your visions, and if there is any truth to this rumor, this idea that their soul's wandering it's cursed. We should try to find Kel first.
That is true. You would be.
And well, probably Luna, because she's probably going to be the most critical of everything.
Exactly.
Oh, also, speaking of death, he turns to Luck. And then Jet pulls up his fingers. And
Really?
Looks like on his fourth drink.
And he casts minor illusion in his hands to bring up the Yuan-Ti just coming back to life, and a small little Luck just at his side and just stares at him and goes, "The hell was this?"
Hold on, let me finish this one, and then I'll tell you.
Yeah, are you just going through in order? Because, you can act it as everyone, but basically these get stronger and stronger.
Yeah, he's just probably
which I listed them goes from the weakest to the strongest.
He's
So
probably just doing that, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Please don't forget by the time you finish that glass. Please don't forget by the time you finish that glass.
He's totally going to forget by the time you finish that glass.
We can ask him after the hangover.
What
What
was
the
the
hell
question?
was with the death? What was with the Death Wave stuff? What was that?
Moves, pulls out his fifth one. Now, that was, it's an old trick. So, you know, you've got your zooms and your puffs and your zooms.
Pew, pew,
and
pew.
And,
yeah, that's how it works.
and Axel's got his whoosh, and you know, Iska's got her to delete his abilities. And, you know, it's just like that. You know, it's just an old trick that I know.
The most scientific explanation.
No, I mean,
For
I kind of want to learn that now.
That
It's pretty cool.
was really cool. That was incredible. You brought a snake creature back from it.
No, because he didn't bring it back from the dead. He just used corpse. There was a difference.
Yeah. Well, it was just a lot of Death Wave, and I was like really passionate back, like when it happened.
What was it? Was it actually like a death weave? So it was like a necromantic spell? 'Cause didn't you say that his magic work? Like, this is a long way back, and you said his magic work, his abilities work differently, like the fire and the lightning. Didn't you say it worked differently?
Yeah, I'd say that you actually are assuming it was Death Weave.
Yeah.
Again, remember, in the Vice, basically the weave is very obscured. It actually is working through, since it, I mean, mechanically speaking, it doesn't work through the weave. It's works a little differently. But Iskrin loves to jump to conclusions, so...
Yeah.
and mislead Axel right there along with them, happily down a rabbit hole.
yeah.
So
Welcome
we're going to
to
say
my
you
life.
guys debate the Death Weave or not Death Weave. And I just want to check in here on Luna as she has left the bar.
Yep.
Where are you headed?
She'd probably try and head towards some type of church-like structure first.
So you're just sort of, I mean, heading back towards the sort of back towards where the Vice Runners Guild is, or to
Nope.
The other direction. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is good. So yeah, you go a couple blocks. It's interesting. You pass through. You see that there are obvious districts to sort of this town as you go through. Same architecture, but there are sort of gateways where easily this town could have been sectioned. And
she does kind of like set back up as she's going through. Yeah.
And as you walk a little bit further down, you sort of enter an area where there's sort of these large, fairly ornate-looking houses and structures. You do pass by this festival that seems to be going on that's drawing a lot of attention. And as I said, to your left, you see sort of open, wide streets, nice sort of cottages, bigger than cottages. Truly not as big as the Vice Runners Guild Hall, but certainly large estates that seem to all have a different flag or symbols on them, as though they are representative of different groups and organizations. To your right-hand side, you notice it's pretty much all but a blank wall, where you have buildings that then have a wall in between them. So you end up with almost this uninterrupted, solid face on the right-hand side. Again, sort of as you've been able to determine in here, you have these different districts. As you turn the corner, sort of come to a dead end, and you can see there's another one of these large gateways to your right, and you see it's a large sort of open area that you enter into as you walk into there. And the closest that this reminds you of is a huge open, I won't call it a courtyard because it's dirt floors. I'd just say it's sort of large paddock. It very much reminds you of sort of the southern quarter of Sojourn's Crossing. Sort of mixed with that same trade quarter. Lots of wagons here, lots of sort of temporary structures. It seems not nearly as well laid out as Sojourn's Crossing, but there are lots of wagons here, lots of sort of temporary sort of stalls where people have unloaded their wagons to sell their wares. Very much a sort of free-form flea market type idea to it, all within the walls, but not obviously not a permanent structure. It seems as though it probably ebbs and flows by the seasons or by whatever caravans might be here. Certainly you could have some people like Harold and Marge who've set up and just don't leave. In fact, some places look a little bit more permanent in there, that they haven't moved in a long darn time, while others obviously have just pulled in. There's places for stables, paddocks for horses to be kept and watered. But mainly you see just a hodgepodge of wagons. Everyone does seem to be in a celebratory mood as the festival is going on, even though it seems to be in another portion of town. You see blacksmiths, carpenters, lots of things that would keep wagons and caravans on the road. As you sort of walk through this area, again, do me a perception check. Just, we won't go to investigation yet, just to see if you can get an idea of which way you might want to go. On a 10, I mean, you notice a very large building that seems very similar to one you saw in Sojourn's Crossing. That was the Mercantile Exchange, where Sky's father worked. Obviously, sort of as a pass-through where people can bring in their wagons. You don't really notice anything that seems to be a church or holy symbols. But after you wander for about 15 minutes, you feel sort of a light touch on your arm. And a very humble female voice says, "Excuse me."
Luna will turn to the voice.
As you turn around, you see a tall girl and a sort of stocky, chubby boy. Girl's probably 15, boy's probably 14. The girl has sort of, again, very light blue skin and a cloud of white hair. The stocky, chubby boy does not have flaming hair, but it is sort of black like coal and almost has as though it has charcoal inside of it. It's not flaming as much as it kind of looks as though there's an inner fire inside of it. They both are wearing the gray and silver of the Temple of Purity. And she says to you, "Sister, have you not heard the news? We can be cleansed now. The Temple of Purity can lift us up out of our darkness. We no longer need to be stained. We can help you."
Where is your temple?
"It's right over here. I can take you. We are just alkalites. It is only a small chapel. It is not a temple. But we
What
can bring you
are
there."
your names?
"I'm Anna, and this is Bryn."
I'm looking at Bren. So the face I saw in that illusion thing is not similar at all? No. Okay.
No, not at all. He's very chubby. I mean, he has fat cheeks, looks like he's well fed. I won't say doughy, but he probably hasn't gotten his growth yet and is just carrying some extra weight. Sort of that chubby, husky build that you often see in boys sort of right before they enter into their adolescence.
Mhm.
It seems perfectly happy. She goes, "Here, I'll take you." And she starts guiding you back through the different wagons, down around past some lower end taverns and other things. And she explains to you, "You see, you become an acolyte like us, and then you're chosen based on your service, and you can move forward and become cleansed at the cathedral."
And what happens when you are cleansed?
You're normal. You're not stained anymore. You can meet Landon. He was cleansed. He'll be at the chapel.
Is it only our kind that can be cleansed?
Yes. Well, I guess. I mean, there's other people who are members of the Temple of Purity from all the different races. Many of them have had children like us. But it's just us here. Only children of the lost run here at the chapel here. Well, in Landon.
How many of you are there?
There's 5 of us. We run the chapel, and we get to have it be our home. We all didn't have homes before. But
you were discarded.
Discarded, or our parents were lost. But the temple let us take over the chapel here. We see them maybe once every 6 or 8 weeks. They bring us some more gold to help us with our expenses. They let us keep whatever donations we have, and we get to have a home. We just let them know who all we've talked to and which directions they've went of the other children who've passed through and maybe didn't want to join us.
And when was the last visit?
Oh, he was just by probably a week ago, so we probably won't see him again till end of summer.
Please show me too. Please show me the way.
And yeah, leads you through. And she goes, "Oh, I'm supposed to give you one of these," and presses into your palm what would be just a silver coin that has been polished, so it's that disc of basically the holy symbol disc of the Temple of Purity, but it's just a silver coin, really. They take you around, and it's sort of in the, I won't say rundown. Most of the city is in pretty good shape that is still inhabited, but it is certainly a modest, small area. Definitely having been repaired and is being kept up by non-craftsmen. You can see that they've taken quite a bit of pride in painting and keeping the stucco repaired, but it is certainly not a craftsman who has been working on this place. Yeah, she takes you inside and introduces you around. You walk in and you see a water genasi who immediately gets up to greet you. She has sort of a light, more blue-green skin than your own, and her hair is sort of short, cropped, and curly, sort of almost ringlets that sort of seem to flow. And Anna introduced you. This is Melinda, and another Air Genasi gets up, and he is kind of got his feet up on a desk, certainly a little bit older than everyone else, very sort of lively build, and kind of kick back, kind of slacker attitude type idea. Has very short, almost straight, looks like almost like hair being blown in a hurricane. Straight back, again, with sort of a pale, almost to the point of being albinism type pallor to his skin. She goes, and that's Roland. He has been here the longest. And then she takes you, and this is Landon. And you see a boy, probably, well, young man, 23 years old, probably, looks entirely human. Except he has no hair at all. And what you see is these geometric sort of scars on his head, almost as though, sort of like hexagons, as though where, having seen other Earth Genasis, crystals would have probably been emerging. And it's like this whole sort of scarification across his head. You can see one peeking out sort of from under his shirt where there's other scars where perhaps somewhere on his shoulders. Has a bright smile, though, and clear eyes, and it's very nice to meet you, he says.
And like,
What was your name?
Seeing Landon, she just, like, her fist starts to shake a little bit.
I understand. If you're from the West, we've heard stories, but it's not that way here.
This is all of you?
Yep, it's all of us.
Do you know of Saint Cuthbert?
He's one of the gods, I guess, right?
That is so. Do you know how the Temple of Purity started?
I know there's lots of different stories. It happened basically when the descent happened, I know it was dark time, so I don't personally know. Don't much care. I know that they took me in and I now have a roof and don't have to beg on the streets.
You don't have to stay with these people for that to be the case.
I mean, this is my home now. These are my family here. Anna, Bryn. I lost my mama and my poppy. We were just fishermen.
Loss of one's parents, or whether that be through death or discarding, is very difficult. But there are ways to move forward and become a better you, not erase who you are, kind of like indicating in hexagons. Saint Cuthbert is not a gentle god, but he inspires people to become more than what they were before, not less. If you all believe that you must change who you are at the core, you have been led astray. I found my light through my faith to St. Cuthbert, but that is not necessarily the path you all need. You do not need to pray to be human or normal, whatever that means, which I will tell you it is different to different people. There is nothing wrong with any of you. You are beautiful as you are right now.
Well, that's all well and good. We all love each other in here. But that's not the way it is everywhere.
Believe me. And she'll kind of like take off the cloak and shirt. She says, I am well aware.
He kind of looks at the scars and kind of runs his head across the top of his hand across the top of his head. But I see. Wouldn't you want to stop that? Wouldn't you want to be able to move around freely wherever you wanted to go?
Where do you think I came from? I travel as I want now, in my own power.
Anna sort of chimes in. Yeah, but out in the marketplace, you had your hood up. You were walking around carefully. That's why I saw you.
I usually keep my own company. A smile and upturned face is an invitation for conversation, which is not my forte. But I am not ashamed to be Genasi.
What's that?
It is what you all are. You believe you are less because of your skin or abilities.
Well, but
you are.
We know we're stained.
You are not stained. You are blessed. Touching her symbol.
Landon.
Do you know why? Do you want to know why they want you docile in your prison?
We're not in a prison. You hear Bryn jump up as he puts a muffin into his mouth.
They will harvest you. Why
They
do
all
you
just
think?
look at you like you're crazy.
Why?
Actually, do me a persuasion check.
Hold on.
Yeah, just let's see how this is all going. They're still listening. I'll say that because you've been doing great.
Can I use things on this or no?
Yeah, you can. I'll let you if you'd like to. I'll let you use
Natural
things.
20 then.
Wham. Okay, they're listening.
Big money, no heavy.
Nope.
They're listening.
I have found not all Genasi, or as you know them, children of the moss, are treated as the temple of purity treats you. A fire Genasi is kept in a water coffin. A water Genasi is buried to their neck in salt. The temple of purities does not wish for the best for you.
They sort of seem unbelieving, but there's no way they can be this old and not have heard those stories. Not in East, not with the number of people coming through. So it's things that they would have blocked out of their mind, but for some reason your words suddenly give credence to what they thought were just rumors.
This world can be cruel and ugly, but banding together for your own sake is what you should do. Do you want to know how I got here? Through the Vice?
Roland, who's sort of in his kicked back, no care, feet up thing, goes, buy a wagon?
No.
Well, then how did you get here?
I walked, and when the magic of the Vice surges, I was able to block it. We all have magic connected to the Vice. Earthen Genasi can store this magic. Water diffuses it. Fire energizes it differently. And air, what was the air description? I can't
Air
remember.
redirects it. Water shields it.
Water shields. Air redirect. Fire
Catalyst.
catalyzes.
Yeah.
These are all abilities you have, and the temple harvests them. I fought members of the Temple Purity who tried to use me, and they used a stone taken from an earthen Genasi to throw that magic at me, and I stopped it. You are all powerful. You don't need to bend to their will. I am not here to convert you. I am here to free your mind.
Landon first feels very sort of separate now. He's noticing his, after hearing the truth of your words, he at first was see even more reason why we should get cleansed, but then hearing this, that potentially a gift he had has been given away or taken away, he sort of drifts sort of from the group. I think you better leave now.
If I leave, you'll stay the same way.
For years, we've had it good here. We're just having a home. We're just trying to keep fed, take care of each other. We don't want fights or magics we've all seen the people who come through here who got affected by the Vice. It's horrible. That's not a blessing to be able to move and wield that. That's a curse.
It is
just
a
like
blessing.
we all are.
It is a blessing to be able to shield them from that. You can help shield them from it.
I can't
That's
do
why
anything
you're
anymore
right.
according to you.
You can survive. That is more important than anything. They have stolen things from you, but you are still valuable and worth something.
Do a persuasion check for Landon specifically.
Yep. I have more, but I feel bad about. I kind of just want.
Yeah, I kind of
want
to see a roll on this.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Can I at least use an advantage?
I'll let you use an advantage.
Okay, I will do that. That's my last one. Persuasion, right?
Persuasion.
Tough.
An 8.
Yeah, I'm bad with words. It's not a thing.
No, I mean, yeah, no. He is. His world's been turned upside down, and this is where he was given shelter, and he basically just went from being what everyone here was aspiring to now being someone that they might pity. And, you know, everyone would love, you know, everyone loves to think that they're special, they're unique. And he thought that meant that he was cursed, but now that it could potentially be that, you know, he gave away what would have made him truly special, is unfortunately it's not sitting well with him. I said I think you better should leave now. You say you don't want to convert us, but you just keep on talking.
Because I'm trying to get you to see your worth, and you don't.
10 minutes ago, I saw my worth.
10
minutes ago, all of us were here. We had a place. We knew what we were doing. We were working towards something.
You already have a place. They took you from it. You have
my parents, my mama died in childbirth. Pappy said I ripped her wide open. And my pappy got ate by a crocodile. Ain't nobody took anything from anybody but me. They took me in. They brought me here. They let me stay here. They fed me when I was
and
hungry.
Harvested you.
So you say.
It is true. Why would I lie about this?
He's going to do an insight check. Let's see. Yeah. On a 20. I know you believe it. I know you believe you know what you're talking about. But I've seen lots of people, I've seen lots of children of the lost come through here. A lot worse shape than you, with more messed up ideas in their head. Just leave us in peace.
Not like this.
What? What are you going to do? Tell us to leave the temple period. Then what? Go on the road? Try to head to Providence 300 miles away? It's not like we can afford to stay here.
Then I will provide for you.
How?
I am not without skill. I have fun. I can fight. I will provide for you. You all Genasi surviving is more important to me than anything.
But I'm not anymore.
She'll go to him. Listen. Yes, you are. They have taken from you, yes, but you still are. They cannot change what is here.
We won't be able to stay here.
Then come with me. I will protect you as long as I have breath in my body.
What are you going to do with 5 kids chasing you around down the road?
Show you what a real family's like.
We got to talk on it. We can't make a decision like this just like this. But we'll be here. You know where to find us now.
I'll be back tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
And at the door, she'll, totally turn back. I'm called Luna. Gentle waves. Walk out.
Did y'all catch it? It's the first time we've heard Luna's last name.
I thought it was just like a goodbye, but that was amazing.
I think. Wasn't that your last name?
It's actually Isle.
Oh,
that
I
was
was going to say,
that
yeah,
was
so Gentle
no, it's
Waves.
Isle.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Gentle Waves is such a great goodbye.
Last name, though. Great.
That's the middle name.
Yeah.
Self-applied name.
Yeah. No, that's true. Finding your true name is part of it. Sorry, I was thinking it didn't sound right, but then I was like,
Nope,
I
it's
love
not.
it, though.
Sounded good.
Back to love drinking.
Yeah.
Heidi, ho.
So yeah, you
cut your
guys
finger.
have death weaved. Had your discussion about the death weave because Axel doesn't know anything about death and runes and a death dragon wrapped around his neck.
And that's how you do the super bath with the, when I do the rooms and the dizzles. What number am I on?
Number 6.
Oh,
Do you want me to have the last one?
was I?
You might not be able to walk back to the guild like that.
Oh,
Okay.
actually, I think that was number 7. And Axel, I went ahead and ordered you another one right there. I don't know why they put it in front of luck, but it's there.
No,
Yeah.
I can't.
Well, I mean, he's tricking everything, and
Oh, that's a good 14 left on my count.
When
that I
Billy
can
is up,
see luck.
Just by
Sorry.
chance, you know what the last one is? It's the Sutrafly Honeymead.
yeah.
Since you've had such a great such a great encounter with it. But yeah, it's strong. It's like that's like doing like schnapps, but like a whole goblet of it.
I'm seriously going to need to go to the bar today. I hate you.
Perfect.
Man,
Alicia, that was beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, great job. Seriously.
that was incredible.
Mwah. Wonderful scene.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's great.
so,
I mean, it's making me a little sick, but I went to the bar last night.
we're going somewhere. Or is there a party on? I remember a party. We were going to a party, right?
We could still go to the party, but you're a bit drunk. I don't know if we can take you anywhere.
We're going to a party?
Yeah, I believe so. I'm going to a party. Still looks around.
Well, I mean, there's a festival that's still happening outside. You guys can certainly head out to
Yeah.
the festival.
Iska saved part of her meal, as in she is still of the mindset of going to find Kel at some point today, and thinking if that thing is so spicy, I'm guessing it doesn't have a lot of like natural smell to it. That if she brings that with her, even if she can't find Kel's senses might be able to pick that up a little bit easier.
There you go.
So she puts that idea forward again that she would like to go do that sometime soon, and anyone's welcome to come with. But I do want to go.
Oh, we haven't gone on a cow hunt for years. Wait, no, hold on.
We
Hey.
have Kel now?
You do if you try hard enough.
Do you want me to take them back to the guild? And maybe you and Sylvia can go, or maybe Sylvia can go with them, and I can go with you.
I think that sounds good.
I look at Celia and then I grab her wine and I drink it, and then I put it back.
Oh dear.
Oh no, you have made a big mistake there. I'm like, look, sort of like just backing off as he's like
Yeah, if you're
stumbles
drinking
towards-
Celia's wine, I'm gonna go with the RP on that. That she gives you. What did you just do, honey? Did you?
Someone wants to lose the big toe.
Yeah.
What?
You drank.
Like-
You drank another person's drink.
You drunk Axel's?
Did I?
No, I drank mine.
Oh, that was for you. Ah.
Yeah.
So, what is
Let's go
everyone
find
doing?
Yeah, what are we doing?
Stumble to the door. We've got to find a bear.
I think we go back to the guild hall. I think
Yeah.
we tried it on the way back. We convinced Luck to maybe take a power nap, sleep it off a little bit.
It's about
And-
4:30, 5 o'clock at night. But yeah, I mean, certainly if you want to do a short rest or whatever, we can.
It's still going to take time to go get Kel.
Yeah.
Is my thought.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Or at least go look-
you're saying
to go
have
look for
sleep-
him if we
sleep
can
it
try to
off while
find
you
him.
guys go find Kel.
Yeah,
Gotcha. I thought you meant
yeah.
sleep it off before taking him to find Kel.
No.
Come on,
I'll,
drunk Luck out in the woods.
Yeah, he's so good at finding people. I remember how well he tracked
yeah.
Bati last time.
I'll head back to the guild hall with Luck as well, and I'll spend like some time in the rejuvenation pool and just try to channel the frost.
That's true. You can throw him in the rejuvenation pool, and that will sober him up.
Like in 10 minutes.
And this time we just leave his clothes on.
Just whoosh. It's good
Just
goose.
power wash.
So, Luna, were you heading back to the guild hall, or were you headed elsewhere?
I probably would. I'm pretty upset right now. I would probably actually try and see if they. I'd probably stop by the bar first.
Yeah.
See if they had all left yet.
We could. I mean, what would you like to do? We can play that either way.
Okay. I'd probably try and catch like Axel right before he left.
Okay, yeah, we'll say that because Luck telling stories and them debating about the death rune could easily have taken as long as you to find them and have your discussion with the kids of the Temple of Purity.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you sort of see them as they're going out. Luck is deep into his cups,
Yeah.
and they're Iskrin and Celia are assisting to get him back, and you see Axel and Iska.
Yeah, and Luna does not have a cloak on. Like it's everything. Like she is just full, and like I imagine her hair is like waving kind of angrily.
Gotcha, business.
Axel, I require your assistance.
Yeah. Okay. You can take care of Luck. Fine. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure. What do we help with?
Until like indicate talk outside of the bar.
Okay.
Yeah. I
I-
sort of presume that because
Yeah.
it's Luna, there would be conversation separate from everyone
Sure,
else.
okay.
Anyway, they
Yeah.
would be following her.
yeah,
So yeah,
we
we
did.
can. The two of you guys find a spot in the road. You were saying outside the bar,
Yeah,
not in the bar.
like outside the bar. Yeah,
Okay.
not in the bar.
Mm-hmm.
I need help finding, and she'll hold up the silver coin that they have. Can you tell me if there's any sort of tracking magic on this?
Sure. 1 moment. I need to check his spells if he has prepared for today, because he might not. I don't think he does. It'll take me 10 minutes, and I need to sort of sit down somewhere. But yeah.
I need it in order to know where the Temple of Purity in this area is.
Oh. Yeah.
They have
Okay.
brainwashed children of my people, and they will pay.
Okay, do you want to get back to the guild? We can sit there and take time. Because I don't know if I can.
Or
I
back
know
in
if
the
I can
bar.
detect
I mean, either one.
I know I can detect the magic. I don't know if I can follow it.
It might be better to do it here. If there is tracking magic of some kind here, I do not want to trace back to where we are staying.
And so So
We can go back.
sit, and sit up, find a table and sit up for the ritual and do the ritual 10 minutes.
Yep. So what
To
exactly are you
detect
casting?
magic.
Detect magic.
magic.
It's clean. It does not seem to have any sort of magic on it. Do me a investigation check, though. I can throw an Arcana on top of it just so we can play the game.
All the checks. 9 investigation, but the 15 on the Arcana.
Okay. You don't see any sort of special marks on this, but you do know that just from you, because you've used it yourself before, that if you have seen an object or are familiar with an object, someone could use locate object on it to locate it once again.
And I guess, as far as I can tell, is it indistinguishable from a silver piece, or is it like a silver?
It's a silver
token
piece, but it has been polished painstakingly to remove any marks from it. So now it's just a pure silver disc, but obviously was made from, it's like if you had polished, put a quarter on a grinder so that it became, just a disc of metal. But certainly anyone who had spent time to polish it would be very familiar with it.
Well, that doesn't have any magic on it, but it can be used as a location. Like I could try and find, if I wanted to find you, I could look for your necklace or your hood or something. I could find something on you, and somebody could do the same with this. And if it's been polished, so it's distinct and individual, and if that's if somebody knows that, then it's easier to find.
If it is put in something like your bag of holding, what would happen?
It's not on the same plane.
It's distinct. It would be, you wouldn't be able to find it because it's sort of a hole in the plane, like he was just about to say something and stops. So it's a hole in the plane, so it's not really part of this world, and you can't find it with scrying, I think. I don't know exactly how powerful scrying spells can be, but you can't find it like that. Or locate objects, certainly you can't.
And when you locate an object magically, you can only see it, not hear it. Is that correct?
Clairvoyance, I can see or hear, but that's a location. I think scrying could be just one, could be other. There's multiple versions, and some are more powerful than others, but you can sometimes hear it, I think. But only in some cases.
I need to ensure that they do not take my people in the night.
The thing about scrying is it's not a long duration, 10 minutes about. And so if you're worried about them having heard of it, certainly it's your choice. Yeah. Okay. I'll help.
Thank you, Axel. If all goes well, we will have new companions tomorrow. If it does not, there are people I need to end.
New companions?
Yes. But it is not certain.
Okay, we'll... Alright. Because we need to go where Cal's family is, right? Oh, Falcon's Crest, I think.
Wait, sorry, one more time.
Falcon's Crest, isn't it? Target?
Yep. Falcon's Crest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they want to go? Are we going to take them there and all the way? Because we might have to take the bigger road instead of the smaller one if that's the case.
If they come, it is not negotiable.
Yeah.
I will not abandon them.
No. We just have to make different decisions.
That is fine.
Right. Okay, do you want me to go? I can look at the place I might be able to set up. You might be able to set up some alarms on the location, but that would take some time. It might be noticeable, and I need to actually meet the people so they don't set them off. So if somebody weird comes in, then we know. But yeah.
Luna will kind of like minor illusion what they look like.
Well, I mean, he's still gonna have to go
Oh,
actually
he's going
there.
to do
To the
Yeah, I mean,
location.
it's-
Well, yeah,
it's-
to the day, just so he knows what they look like, because she doesn't want to actually go with the thing. It's like, hey, I know I said I'd give you a night, but
Yeah.
look at that guy real quick for 2 seconds. All right, continue conversation.
Yeah, no,
Um,
yeah, you could.
Okay.
Does so does Axel have the bag of holding with him? How big is it? Is it like a backpack or satchel or?
It's the
I don't know.
I forget. It's not the very smallest one, but it's not the very biggest one either. I can't. I think
medium?
it's the second size one, not the
Yeah.
There's 4 listed in there, and I think it's like a small, medium, large, extra large. It's the medium.
Okay, so it's probably big enough for him to carry around, and if he can carry it around reasonably without issue, then he will be, because it's got a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of
no,
valuables
it's
in there.
absolutely. It is not. Yeah, it is not
Yeah.
the big monster Goliath-sized one. No, it's
Alright.
yeah.
Okay, and he will open up the bag. Do you want to put coin in there?
Drop them.
Yep. And he'll reach in and pull out this very nice Cavalier-style hat, a broad rim, folded up on one side, with a sort of a feather poking out. It's the hat of disguise.
Oh right.
It might take a few minutes, and then I can go over there. And if you don't want me sort of looking particularly suspicious, I can try this and look different.
I will transport you when you are ready.
Right. He just needs to just
Yep,
attune
okay.
to
Yep.
to his pearl of power and attune to the hat.
Yep.
Yep.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
10 minutes pass. You feel
Yeah,
yourself.
very snazzy
become
looking
attuned.
hat. Yeah. Okay, you can take me there and then I'll.
Zoom, John.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you what. We're gonna come back to you guys. Let's go ahead and go
Oh, no,
over
we
to
don't.
the folks. Actually, we're at 3:30 now, and Celia's going to be here in just a moment. She's coming in. Why don't we take our break real quick, and we will hopefully have a Celia when we return, because she'll be jumping in here as she comes online, and we'll pick up with the guys and gals back at the guild hall. Sound good? And again, let you guys know we do run our channel 100% for charity. This month is the Special Olympics. If you aren't able to donate, do check out the link that is the words itself in the description below their logo, and it will take you to the Master Special Olympics site, which then can take you to your own local Special Olympics and can tell you volunteer opportunities in your own hometown, because they are an amazing organization with so many different ways. I haven't done it in years, but way back, my fraternity, we used to go to their events to be the official huggers as you come across the finish line. And if you ever want to just get the most incredible pick-me-up that you have ever had, is to go to one of their events and volunteer in whatever capacity you're able, because it will lift your heart. On that, I'm going to take a quick break because I need to grab something to drink, and we will be back in just a few. I will leave you with our good friend Alicia, because I bet she has a pun for you.
A pun? I would never do such a thing.
Liar.
Unless it was time for that segment. Oh, thank you everybody for joining. And as a note, if you would like to donate but can't because of financial things, that's fine. You can do things like share our channel on social media like Twitter and Facebook. We greatly appreciate it. Oh, there's so few people for pun right now. It makes me sad.
Oh, I gotta go. One moment.
All right. Well, I'll do it. And Kyle's making a bet, I guess. Oh, and then he accidentally.
I'll fill
Yeah.
time
Do you want
for
to do your
pun.
book recommendation?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yes. So, while we wait for the poor victims to return, I'll give you a nice recommendation. We're going with another Terry Pratchett because I've been on a bit of a hook recently for him, and we're going with what some of his right to the start here with the first series the first Discworld novel, which is The Color of Magic. Get a nice coffee. it is a wonderful little book, and is just one of the best things to read. Like, if you want to just always read this when starting out with Discworld. Because I made the mistake of reading a different book in the Discworld series first. I didn't get much, so I didn't have much standing in it. But this explains all the basics. It gives you all a nice opening to the world and helps you sort of just see where the comedy's going to go, how messages flow, and how things are shared. And I don't want to say too much about it because the Discworld series is something you must experience yourself. The jokes are spot on, the writing's amazing, and like with all Terry Pratchett's work, I believe it's just some fine literature.
Oh.
Not the best Discworld, but not the best one. I have my personal preference, which I'll share later. But definitely good if you want to get into the Discworld series. Read The Color of Magic, and you'll be open to a world of possibilities.
I will make one suggestion because when I gave my book to my dad, he felt kind of the same way I did. If you choose to read The Color of Magic, strongly consider picking up The Light Fantastic. I will suggest that. But now that everybody's back, it's time for Bud of the Week.
I thought I missed it.
I thought I missed it too.
She waited for
They
it.
did not.
Why did the robber take a bath?
Why did the robber take a bath?
So they could make a clean getaway.
I'm with you. I'm with you, Bird. I'm with you.
That's a great bird face. Wandering, please snip that.
Of course.
The many faces of Bird versus
The
Plane.
many faces of Bird. Yeah.
The many disappointments of best played.
Actually, we do have to go back to the bar for just a second because the ritual cast threw me off, but you cast a spell in the bar.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
And it's actually not what you think it is. As you're sitting at the table, and as this slow ritual cast, you do it very carefully, having remembered you're close to the vice, and that probably casting is not something you want to just go doing willy-nilly. Ritual casting, it's interesting. You sort of test the bounds of this, and in this place, you seem as though you're somewhat protected. Not the same as the seed, but as though there is some effect that is dampening and allowing the magic to not be interfered with quite as much. Luna, you start getting that same feeling again of being claustrophobic. And Axel, as the magic dissipates here, something catches your eyes as well. You see the outline of a different face. Thin, blue, and with long hair that streams almost looks like all the way down to the floor, like a waterfall. And it emerges out of the stone, pushing through with no sound, but you can hear it say, "Release us," before it gets pulled back in.
Is my symbol going a bit again?
Your
After
symbol
that?
is glowing, and actually Axel definitely saw that your symbol was glowing at that time. And you saw this, Axel. A face emerging, an outline of a face, not a fully formed face, just sort of like the outline in sort of this crackling blue flowing energy. Definitely water genasi.
Yeah, so once you sort of finish the conversation with Looney, he'll sort of go up and just sort of peer at the walls, and then sort of pull out his bag and reach into his bag and fumble around to try and find something. Alright, so he's sort of just going to reach his bag and he's going to find a little scrap of cloth. And on that little scrap of cloth, he's going to inscribe the Insight Room
Ooh.
to search for hidden lore, presumably, along the walls. And see if he can trace if it's in the walls or if it's sort of set somewhere in the premises, particularly. Because he has his suspicions, but...
You trace the rune completely unhindered by any of the weird currents of magic here. The dragon room seems to burn through. And as you look at the walls and what you've just seen, and remember Doc's story about feeling the energy pass through, and these stones, from hearing from Iskrin, seeming to have absorbed magic, knowing that that same energy, when bound to a soul, became the Genasi race. Some of that energy seems to have become trapped here within these polished sylvan stone walls. Not souls themselves, but that energy, perhaps something similar to what Valturian was talking about needing to collect in Darixis. Seems to be trapped here in East as well.
So you sort of see him do this, and he sort of had his hand sort of across the wall, and he just sort of lifts his head and falls down. Walks over and sits next to Luna. Yeah.
And she's kind of murmuring to herself, "How do I free you? How?"
Currents, you can pull them out. I think they've been there since the vice was first created. Never. The stone absorbed them before they even reached a body. They never even had a chance to become a child, but perhaps I don't know. Perhaps if the current changed, they could be pulled out, brought back into the world to find a place. But I don't know how souls work as much as magic. It's a bit different, but
So if we can fulfill our purpose, they will be released.
I think so. I mean, I don't know everything. I mean, I'm still sort of not sure about how the vice works, and because the vice is pulling the energy from the stones, maybe it's keeping the energy in there as well. But souls are not magic.
They will be,
Not entirely.
when they are released, they will make the future generation.
Yeah. Because
Then our
Pauses for a moment, looks away. Oh, yeah, no. I think the act of, because remember, when he looks around, make sure no one's sort of within earsight of Valtorian, we're going to pull the currents of the vice to the seed. That might pull them out. It might, I don't know. But this is the energy of the vice. This is the energy that we're trying to bring back. Just like you and the others.
Then what we must do has not changed.
But you know what? With all that's happened, it really never has changed since the start. It's kind of, oh, forgive me for saying this, but it's fate. Kind of like that. But we can, if you want, we can try now. We can, as I said, I don't know about souls, but we can talk to Iska, we can talk to Iskrin, we can talk to Valtorian. He knows more about this magic than I do.
That will have to come later. For now, I must worry about those who have already been born.
Yeah, and I just thought, like, because here, the water and the walls sort of protected this place. I'm not so sure. If I'm trying to set up alarms around the chapel, I might need to dissuade any search. Yeah. I was just letting you know that. Yeah. And the hat's actually kind of useless now.
No, I mean the hat's, things, magical stuff still works. Yeah, it will still work.
Yeah, but it's casting disguise help, so
ooh, that's
the
true.
Issue there.
It's because we always go by what the exact words are. Yeah, so
yeah.
No, if it is the ability to cast, then yeah, it would be a cast.
Yeah, it's disguise self at will, basically. Yeah.
We need not worry about your parents. If you can set up the alarm, that will be enough. I can.
You just don't want to look suspicious. Okay, but I mean, it's a cool hat, right?
So tappy on the top of it.
He sort of just cracks up laughing, gives you this big grin. Okay. He sort of goes through. I still actually need this. It's a good thing I kept it. And he pulls out the string that forces the alarm. We can get going. You can show me where to go.
All right. Cat on back. Zoom.
Zoom. Yep. So now we will go ahead and move over to.
Sorry.
Yeah. No. Like I said, I forgot about the cast in there because the magic used. Well, anyway, I forgot that you would cast in there. Anyway, so Iskra, Celia, Iska, and Luck stumbling along head back to the Vice Runners Guild Hall. What are y'all up to?
So how do you find a Kel?
Is Dustin around?
You don't see him, but certainly you saw that he went up to the third floor. You could certainly ask and could find out exactly where his room is. That wouldn't be a big deal to go knock on his door.
But I have found the best way of finding people, not monsters now, but people, is to go around and shout their name.
Yeah, Albert could tell you where Dustin's room is.
I mean, as soon as Luck started talking, it's got like fingers in ear, just like, all right, just knew this was coming.
I yelled, Kel.
All right. She asks about Dustin's room, figures it out. She goes to find Dustin.
Okay. She heads up and I realize the third floor is much more, very much more, I'll call it homey. I mean, obviously it's decorated like someone's house would be, and not the second floor is definitely more like an inn, whereas up here these are obviously sort of people's residences. Perhaps maybe the only place where vice runners have any roots or anything. You knock on the door. So you knock on the door, and Dustin, you can hear some rummaging inside, and he, in a sort of cracked voice, "Yes, who is it?"
Hey, it's me, Dustin. It's Iska.
Oh, yes. And you open the door, and you see these lit candles inside. The room is sort of darkened. He's been crying. You see the doll sort of laying there on a small table where there's a chair that he probably was just sitting on and has now come over. It's seemed to be decorated with interesting pieces, remembrances. There's a blanket that is hanging on the wall. Some other small little knickknacks and trophies. It's fairly Spartan. But he's been in contemplation. Yes. How can I help?
Everything okay?
Yes, just...
She reaches a hand out and puts it on his, just to hold him.
And he puts his hand on hers and just goes, I haven't relived that time of my life quite some time. He just sort of nods. Thank you. Obviously, you need something. Can I help?
Yeah, I was hoping to go find Kel, and not much of a tracker. I don't mean to disturb you right now, especially with everything, with all of this. Can you point me to what's the most peaceful, natural beauty around here? Any glades, springs? I got a good feeling that Kel would have found it for himself already.
Yes, just north of where we came out of the glade. Probably only 5 miles or so, maybe less. There are many springs. This whole area is sort of the headwaters for the Glasswater Run that goes all the way down to Torvolia. Sometimes streams will form based off of snow runoff. We're a bit late for that, but the springs will still be there. It's quite beautiful. But don't be silly. I can come with you if you'd like.
I'd like that.
Let me get my things. And he sort of goes over and blows out the candles and does place the doll sort of back into his pack. Sort of gets himself put back together, and yes. And he sort of looks outside. He goes, "It will most likely be dark by the time we get out there. Do you think we will be able to find him? Maybe a campsite?"
We'll be prepared. Truth be told, Dustin, I think it's going to be more on him finding us than us finding him.
Yes. It was that way with his brother as well.
Oh, before I forget. And she reaches into her pack and she pulls out the remainder of the payment that she promised, half before the vice, half after the vice.
And he just smiles and he goes, normally, of course, I would accept this, but I really only took you halfway.
I was going to say, there should be a discount. We really weren't in there for the full time.
Yes, I've certainly...
There's mommy's baby. You do not overpay.
I mean, you can tell that he probably wouldn't have accepted it no matter what, but he's come up with an excuse to... You keep that. I feel you are going to need it. You have quite of an adventure ahead of you.
Let's get out there.
Yes. And you guys head downstairs. Who all is going to go looking for Kel?
I am quite intrigued on this Kel hunt.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
It's going to end badly. We're going to find Kel's front of like 100 badgers, you know that, right? On the left somewhere.
So Axel and Luna are off in town.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you all are going without. Luck is sleeping it off.
Yeah.
We'll say Celia comes with you.
Sure.
Because it's rogue stuff. You know, sneaking around. It's Kel hunt. Yeah, so you guys head out through the private gate and head up to the north. So before we get there, let's check in with our buddy Kel and see what he has been up to all this time. Hey there, Danny.
Through the magic of technology,
Through the
I
magic of
suddenly
technology,
appear.
He appears.
Like that. Summoned.
Oh, I got you in the wrong spot. Nope, that's Celia. Where's Kel?
You're the magic technology. You're in the wrong spot.
No, actually, I even had it set up so he'd show up in the right spot and everything.
Oh, I can't wait
at
for
me.
Jeanette
Look
to
at
get
me
here and
planning
screw it all
ahead.
up.
I totally planned ahead. I know it is hard to believe,
Come
but I
on,
did. I
Jeanette, get in
actually
here.
planned ahead.
We need you to screw
So,
up the cameras.
Kel, as you have been out, having left the party, Dustin sort of pointed to the gate, the private gate of the Vice Runners Guild that the rest of the party went into, and before you took off to the north. How have you spent your afternoon, really? Arrived around 1 o'clock, and what have you been up to with your day?
Well, considering what we just came out from, Kel wandered north from the city along the edge of the forest and looked for a spot similar to the one he found before on the 1st of June.
Okay.
And he will find, he will look for a spot near a stream or a pond or something where there's water and earth and stone and sky.
Yep. Up in here, this is sort of the highlands. There is green, verdant, sort of long grasses and these outcroppings of large sort of boulders of stone. And certainly you're able to find, a spring that sort of wells up through sort of one of these rocky outcroppings in a protected area with some smaller flowering trees, seeing as it is sort of the height of summer. Our first planting, so some of the early blooming trees are there. The sky is crisp and blue. It is warm, as we have described, humid in this area, far more so than you are used to. The air is still, and so the surface of this spring and pool are just as smooth as glass. As you look into it, it's almost like looking into a mirror at the sky itself.
Well, I'm going to prepare a spot, and as I did before, perform the tea ceremony. Although this time there will be 2 empty cups instead of just one. You know, it's for him, it's automatic, you know, just habit, second nature to go through and complete the ritual. After all of the emotion that he's gone through, at this point there's not a whole lot left built up. So it's just, you know, quiet and contemplative, and afterwards he'll sit there for a while, and then realizing that this is really his, I think, his first chance to really put a lot of what he's been learning from Iskrin to the test without so much vicey surroundings.
Yeah.
I think he's going to start wandering along the edge of the forest, maybe going into it just a little, not too much, because he doesn't want to go too far in and get like suture flied or anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Midnight Wield is dangerous, but I mean, you know, again, you have to get into it before you're gonna. You might have there are some predators that would move out, but do me a survival check just so that you can sort of stay out of their way. You know to read the signs of where animals have marked a territory and where they would not want intrusion, any sort of predatory animals. Also, for the most part, Kel is probably seen as a fairly formidable foe by most animals. Instinctually would know this is not something to tangle with unless you're looking for a territory fight or something.
Yeah,
beware the bear bunny.
And if worse comes to worse, I can always talk to them.
Yeah.
And tell them, you really don't want to do that. And I'll show you why. Survival?
Yep. Yeah. Natural 20. And followed by
and
a natural 19.
Right, like
yeah, you wander the edge of the forest easily in harmony with this sort of transitional area between the Highland Meadows and the Midnight Wield.
And so what I'm going to be doing is looking to practice my lay sight, for want of a better term, I guess. You know, turning it on, turning it off, quote unquote, and just seeing what the difference is here as opposed to, you know, how damaged do the lines look here as opposed to like in the heart of it where we were.
Right. Do me a perception check. On a nat 1. Yeah. You're able to, you know, actively see the lines here, but it's actually, they were so dense and there were so many of them as you were going through the vice. It's almost, you know, that's, you know, you kind of learned in a target rich environment, so to speak. Now where it is only, you know, one line that might, you know, or one sort of blurred ley line that's been tattered and shorn apart. Similar to as you saw earlier in your visions long ago on the other side of the Vice, you saw how once the line sort of emerged from protection, they sort of got shredded and almost just spread across. Here, instead of seeing the big cables that of ley magic that you saw sort of traveling through the center of the Vice, it's all almost like these smudges that you're able to see them coming and going. So it's not like they're in the corner of your eye, but it is not anything similar to what you experienced inside the Vice. These are not even lines anymore. They're smudges of magic that go whisking by you.
Okay.
So,
And then I'm just going to probably, I mean, my plan is to just wander until it gets dark, find a spot to kind of curl up in and do my meditation for the night. And then, you know, when I'm up in the morning, I can forage again because there's like places I can actually forage, and then wait, circle around to the east side of the town and wait for everybody to come out in the morning, because that's what I'm assuming is going to happen.
Yep. Are you cold camping, I assume, or are you making a
Oh,
fire?
yeah.
I assumed, but I just wanted to check. But you aren't necessarily hiding your camp. It's that you are just living with nature.
Yeah, just and staying
I'm
kind
trying
of
to
within
set the DC of them finding you, which
and staying within kind of within the edge of the forest, because I feel more comfortable within the trees.
Yep.
Just you're doing my normal, you know, kind of animal nature, stay hidden.
Gotcha.
I mean, not like, oh my god, hide, but
right,
you know,
you're not stealthing. But you are also being
blending,
one with the environment.
Blending in.
So while we were going through that, we actually had a Celia, Miss Jeanette, show up. Hello.
Hi. Yeah.
You held hands with Iskrin and told him about told everyone about flying.
Yes. I've gotten.
And you're now on a Kel hunt with a puppy.
He was a bad puppy.
His name is Iskrin.
Ah.
Hi. Really, Max? He's
I
trying to
love
make it up to
you.
me because last night he peed on our mattress
Oh.
and he got excluded into the bathroom all night. So he's trying to like make it up to me by giving me all this love.
Yes. I love you
so
still.
I'm so adorable.
So we assumed that you would go with everyone on a Kel hunt. So
Yes.
Dustin leads you guys out the side gate, which you would come in a few hours before. And you guys head to the north. It takes about an hour, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours for you to actually sort of retrace your steps. You don't have the wagon now, so you can move certainly much quicker. And since Dustin knows this area and was once a hunter, very much sort of a favored terrain. This is sort of his old hunting ground. So he is going to go to some of the springs that he would have thought he thinks of as being very picturesque. Quick question, Kel. Would you have left the cold teacups behind, or would you have, you had before Druid crafted teacups and, didn't, I mean, we never really talked about what happened to the teacup of Wolf's Rem. Would you just leave them to nature, or would you clean up after yourself? Would there be something left to find is kind of what I'm thinking of.
Oh, he would not leave them there. He would, undo them and spread them back out. Probably the only evidence that would be seen would be, whatever rock he was sitting on, like he did before he would have cleared.
Right.
So there's potentially a cleared, circle on top of a flat rock somewhere.
Yep. So I'm I've got in my mind what the DC of this is going to be for him to see if he can track Kel.
Come on, Dustin, you can do it.
Bardic inspiration.
Okay, you can give him inspiration.
I absolutely do.
Okay, and he's going to have advantage because it's his home territory. So let's see what we got here. So it's 16 and then a D8, right? Kel is not an easy person to track. Plus, look at that inspiration.
Yeah.
Full-blown inspiration from Iska, who is the reason you made it. Because Kel is not easy to track. Dustin does find a place where it's been cleared, and once he has found that, about on the third spring, Iska sort of, just speaking of Kel and some of Kel's habits, even though Iska's not super familiar with what he does in his own time, is able to give Dustin enough clues to then pick up the trail. It is, full dark by the time you sort of are heading over to the edge of the forest. Kel, with your alert and everything else, I'm not even gonna make you do a perception check. You hear a fairly big group of people coming. Celia, of course, being the most quiet, but you're still able to do it. Iskrin is glowing like a lightning bug in the night because it's dark up here. Yeah. And Iska, are you even trying to be stealthy, or are you actually out waving around Curry? And Iska waving around Curry. Yeah, you are very quickly realize that your friends in the pretty much, I won't say the middle of the night, but it's 8 or 9 o'clock at night, have come to find you.
Right.
Do you
so
call them over?
I know. I go to them immediately, and in fact, I'm running. It's like, what's wrong? What's wrong? What happened? Why are you here? What's wrong?
Hey, we found you.
Yes, you found me. What's wrong?
Kel,
why are you finding me? What's wrong?
Nothing's wrong. I promise. We came here to talk to you about today. We came here to see how you were doing after everything that happened. And we came here to talk about what we've learned in East and how we would like you to be there with us when we investigate further. First off, how are you doing?
Well, I did tell you that I wanted to be alone for a while, which is why I'm out here. So
understood, Kel. I'll cut it to the chase then.
So what? Something obviously happened, because I don't think you came out here in the middle of the night just to ask me how I am.
Kel, there is something in East. They have hidden their own history of the Tieflings' involvement here and their involvement with the Vice. Something happened, but the explosion, it's all been washed over. And a district in the city, the Tieflings district, it's been abandoned, it's been labeled as haunted and cursed. There are rumors that spirits exist, or maybe the dead never left, but we came here because I want you to be there with us when we go to investigate it tomorrow, perhaps, but I want you to be with us because, and she looks towards the seed that she knows has Kel's brother's soul in it. Not only can we learn more about all of our parts in this, but if the line there between the living and the dead is tenuous, maybe we can learn more about what to do next.
Well, then I will be there in the morning. I'll come to the entrance that Dustin showed us. I look at him questioningly.
Yes, just I'll let the gatekeepers know you're coming.
Then I'll see you all in the morning.
Well, stay safe out here at least.
Oh, I'm perfectly safe out here. This is where I live. I mean, not exactly here, but you know what I mean. You don't know what I mean. I'm used to living in the forest, Iskrin.
Oh.
Iska goes to cover the leftovers up, but before she does, she unveils them again and like just kind of puts a hand out to Kel. Just, you know, offer him a little bit of civilization if he wants it.
Kel looks at the by now undoubtedly cold curry and holds up some berries and says, "I'm good, thanks." But thanks for the thought. And then he'll turn and walk back into the forest.
Okay. You guys gonna stay out here? Or you all heading back to Guildhall, beds, baths?
He wants his alone time. Get me out of here.
Yeah. It's a wonderful stroll underneath the stars, as I point out.
I mean, yeah, it is beautiful up here, Iskrin and Cilia. It is the white sort of outcroppings of rock sort of glow in the moonlight, and that nice sort of beige color that you get. So
I just ruined it all by pointing out, like, up to the sky and telling them that the sparkling dots of light are actually just imperfections within the sphere. It's just wave energy just bouncing off them. Some of them are actually transmitters of gods, but it's more a temporary thing.
Cilia, Iskrin's babbling at you again.
Celia's just nodding along. Yeah. Yep. Yep. We've gotten to that point in the relationship.
It only took a brief walk.
The honeymoon period's over. The honeymoon period of a week?
No, Cilia would not whimper. Thank you, sir. Cilia is going to look at the group and grab Iskrin and say, "We'll meet you guys back at the tavern."
No, literally, he does this. It's like, okay. I just say, all right, bye, Dustin. Like, he literally just stops walking and just like,
yeah. I mean, yeah, from
bye, Iska. Bye, Dustin.
It's off in the distance, but you can easily spot east from where you are. It's once you sort of go over a rise, you're able to spot it. Because of the white walls at night, like I say, do sort of glow off that limestone sort of coating that's on all of the buildings and architecture there. We're going to jump back over to Axel and Luna,
who is not radicalizing anybody.
Who is not
Shut
radicalizing anybody. Shh. There's none of that happening. None of that.
No, not at all.
You don't bring Axel along if you want to radicalize anyone, because no, he doesn't. He would kind of oppose that.
I said she wasn't.
Yeah.
That's already done. Let's just get back to this music. So as you all sort of pass back through, Luna's retracing her steps with you. And so really you have a tabaxi, like in piggyback?
Yes.
Okay, so no one's staring.
Actually, so used to it.
Actually, you know what? I'm not going to even. Now
But he
y'all
has a
don't have
hat
to make-
on.
Y'all don't even have to make a perception check now. That actually just made my life a little bit easier.
You find
They
the
are going
path of ice.
pretty fast. Like, whee!
Uh,
Not making that noise, though.
yeah.
Really.
Can
I mean,
Axel
with this
please make
distance
that
and with
voice?
the number of people here, I'm not sure if you can true ice slide this, but you can certainly you can move at monk speed.
Yeah, she's got pretty good reflexes. She's Dexy.
And as you're sort of weaving through the
Pretty
wagons to
fast.
get all the way across this sort of open area, you hear a voice call out, "Luna, Axel," and you hear someone sort of waving their hand and motioning to you. As you turn around, you see a familiar face that you actually haven't seen in a while. It is the paladin, Stroth.
Strong. Knew it.
Luna is gonna kind of pause, turn to Strauss, remember the interaction, zoom towards him. Strauss, your assistance is needed.
Of
No.
course. How can I help?
And then she will, like Axel's kind of on
Axel,
her back,
hop
but
off.
no, Axel's on
No.
her back.
Okay, you can
Yeah,
do
I
a
gotta grab
contested if you
stuff.
want Axel to squirm
No,
out.
as soon as she realizes she's not letting her off, it's like, okay, fine.
And I just want to clarify for my own sake, this is Stroth, not Stroth.
Stroth,
Yes, I
the
did say
paladin, not Stroth.
not
Stroth.
Stroth.
Sorry, I
not
misspoke.
Stroth the Kobold.
Okay,
I'm so
just
sorry about
wanted,
that.
wanted
Yes.
to make sure.
Yes, it is
Yes.
Stroth. That's why I said Stroth, the paladin.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
you
from
said it
Verdant
right.
Falls.
I screwed it up.
Yeah, Stroth, the paladin from Verdant Falls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Axel on the back, grabbing Strauss's hand.
S-T-R-O-T-H, Stroth. Yeah.
Yeah, like like zip him away to like a little more secluded area.
Well, his wagon's right here.
Oh, okay.
So
Well,
I, mean, I would say,
and-
yeah, he would definitely do a contested before he lets you pull him off. He's a big
Okay.
old paladin, man.
That's fine.
Yeah. One moment. What's going on?
We need to talk in private.
Let's go into my wagon then.
Okay.
Now
and then
Axel will get off.
Nope, still carrying you in.
Do you
No,
want
he's
to
going
do
to contest
a...
this one then. He is
Right.
going to contest this.
Okay. Do a acrobatics or athletics to try to get yourself out of Luna grip.
Yeah. Probably athletics. He's not very good at it. But...
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
She's got...
No.
Sorry.
No.
You're
Sorry, kitty cat.
Nope.
I can walk, you know.
She is not listening.
Yeah.
It's not even like she truly
Luna,
doesn't watch
Mama Luna's in mission mode.
road.
So yeah, you all get inside and
Yeah. Then she does actually let you off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, it's just comfortable carrying around with
Yeah.
like steady.
would you like some tea?
She'll,
No, I had lots of drinks already. I'm good, thank you.
there,
What is this all about?
there are Genasi who have been brainwashed into thinking that the Temple of Purity harvesting them is for their benefit.
Now he doesn't know about
Yeah, I
Harvesting.
don't think he knows about any of these
Yeah.
things.
just what all he knows. You know, he goes,
Well, all
Oh.
she says is harvest. She doesn't.
yeah, okay, so yeah, you can say that. He sort of looks at you and he goes, and then he sort of smiles. Ah, you've met Anna and the rest.
Yeah.
Yes. They've lived here for multiple years. I have never been able to get through to them to try to them to understand that it is not in their best interests to be with the temple. But it has been their choice to stay. And I'm not going to force upon them something that they do not want.
Why would they say? I mean,
Allow me to explain why that is unwise. When I say harvest, I mean that quite literally. Genasi are invaluable in the vice. With the harvest of an earthen Genasi, you can store vice magic. Water shields. They harvest my people. If there are those among my kind who do not know well enough, then they will be made to not be available to them. They don't get an option at this point.
Wait, what? Are you threatening to
No.
remove your own kind for
What?
the sake of...
I
You
would
said you
not
weren't going to make them an option anymore.
available for the Temple of Purity to harvest. I would ensure they were in a safer place and no
Oh,
longer be able
against-
to locate it.
Against their will.
Correct. If necessary. That is not my preference.
Well, you said you convinced them to leave, right?
I said it's possible.
Okay, because I'm not going to help you if you're going to drag them out of their home. As horrible as it is.
You'd rather see them die?
No, I'd rather see them equipped and knowledgeable enough to make the decision.
Like Gandry was?
Sorry?
Like
What?
Gandry was equipped and knowledgeable to make the decision?
No, he wasn't. That's the point. They don't know what's going to happen to them. If you've
They
told
do
them,
now.
then they do now. And they make their decision.
And if
And
they
if they
decide,
don't, you try again and convince them again.
we have to leave. I don't have that luxury.
No, well, okay, talk to them an hour later then. In the morning, and if they don't leave then, I'm not going to help you drag them away.
Then leave.
I will not drag them away either, but if they come willingly,
Yes, we can try that, and we can try hard.
I am happy to give them all that the Unseen Shield is able to offer them. We have incredible safe houses and communities off the beaten path, off the map, off the... I can't say off the radar. Off the map. We have your friends. Well, you're my friends. Brent and Ella. They went to one of our villages that's over to the east of the Cloud Mist Tops. The Cloud Ridge Mist Tops. They've set up a new life there with other children of the lost. I would love to do that for these as well, but for two reasons. One, it must be something they choose, and I also cannot allow them, if they're there under duress, leave and jeopardize all the others who are already settled there.
I would not have those unwilling jeopardize your settlement. Know that.
So, let's talk in a less absolute terms about what we can and cannot do. I understand.
I am aware of what you cannot do.
Well, it sounds that I'm not the only one who will not lend aid.
That's fine. I don't ask you to go against your moral code.
But I mean, I'm still going to, when we go there, I'm still going to set up the alarms so that if anyone actually does show up that shouldn't be there, we do know. I'm not going to not help at all. I'm just, yeah.
As I said, I am more than happy to give them everything I am able to offer. I want nothing more than to see them no longer blinded by these comforts they've been given.
Yeah, that does, like, why do they stay? Have they just like not heard what's going on, or
Hearing tales is one thing. Seeing them for yourself is another. I could talk until I was hoarse.
From all I can tell, they've been treated wonderfully by those who of the Temple of Purity who have dealt with them. They don't see or have been shielded from the side that we know.
You always feed pigs before you slaughter them. That does not make it better. Did you see what they did to Landon?
I saw.
No. Never again. Never.
We had heard rumors. We have seen many Genasi disappear. It's only recently that we've seen some return.
Dead or destroyed. Those are your options here.
If you don't mind, he thinks twice and sort of stops with his thought. I trust you. I see it. My life has been interesting since I last saw you.
No, so is ours. So we can catch up later at some point. That'd be nice.
Yes. He looks at Luna deep into her eyes. You've changed. He looks deeper. You've communed with the divine.
Kind of like stops shaking in anger. Yes.
Truly.
I am as the tide, low or high.
Then you will understand, or need to understand, how rare that is in our world. Much of the divine magic you see, or people claim to exhibit, is either charlatans or the arcane disguised. A true connection with the divine in this world is a gift beyond measure. I am one of the few as well, but it had been nearly a decade since I had last been touched by Helm. You see, everyone thinks the divine is a lesser magic here, in this world, than the arcane or the warlocks. That's why we use scrolls so often. Our spells take longer. Our magic's not as, or seen to be not as powerful. But for those truly blessed, it is nothing short of a miracle. I tell you this because, as I said, I had not been visited by Helm in nearly a decade. But after coming through the Vice, with what remained of Liam's caravan, we split apart different ways. Those of you who knew, we picked up others as well. Seeing the shock on your face that something might have happened.
Mm-hmm.
I was visited, and Helm gave me a vision. I saw his shield being carried by me. And then a boat sailing into the sunset. And a flaming tree surrounded by white flowers. That's why I'm here. I was waiting for the spawn to head back to the west. Assuming to go over to the Great Western Sea to perhaps find passage into that sunset I saw. But I'm unsure. There's something that doesn't seem right about it. But I know it must be important for him to have come to me after for so long.
I can hazard a guess as to the tree. Perhaps even the flowers, but I am not versed in prophecy, and my connection to the divine is still very new. I apologize for my anger. I do not want the weight of another soul I could not save on my conscience.
I understand. So let's see what we can do. Maybe finally we can save these children together.
I hope so.
So, what's your plan? Where were you off to in such a hurry heading? Looked like you were heading towards the little chapel.
Yeah, because I said before I was going to, with Luna's help, just so nothing went wrong, I was going to set up some simple ritual spells so that if anyone, because she's kind of worried about their safety now that she's been there and tried to convince them to leave, she's worried about their safety. So we wanted to set up just some detection so that if anyone showed up that shouldn't be there, we would know.
Casting will be quite a risk. But I guess if you're in for a penny, you're in for a pound, right?
And
flips
Luna is
his scrolls.
I am able to lessen the risk of casting.
If you
Yes,
detect
but
a search, if there are other people around, might be.
That is true.
why take any risk at all? And he pulls out a scroll of alarm, Vice is tuned, and hands it to you. That will not disturb the currents.
Yeah.
But,
Well, thank you, Strong. I am unused to feeling so strongly so often. And I am sorry as well, Axel.
I mean, I'm sorry that kind of we don't always get along. I mean, you don't get along with this Kryn, so.
We get along just fine. I choke him when he annoys me.
Yeah. I suppose that's how it
looks at you weird.
Oh, we ran into a new friend on the road, and he's like me but worse.
Oh. Straw's eyes get a little bit wide. Well, in that case, I will be here. I was just, like I said, waiting till after the spawn, so I've sort of set up shop Scrolls are popular, of course, always. So, and I'd love to talk with you more, Luna, about your newfound path, if you wish to share a cup of tea sometime.
That would be pleasant. Thank you again.
You know where to find me.
So we do. And then she'll look to Axel. Would you let me carry you again to our destination?
Yeah, okay.
And he actually goes, one more thing. This might come in handy too. And to clear out the spell bank, hand you a scroll of Windwall from last month's spell bank. So you can
There we go.
No, that might be-
Getting it in there.
I almost forgot about it, and I'm like, oh. So, yeah, you guys, just for expedite things a little bit, you guys,
do the
we'll
thing
say
and
that
then
you
it's
all
fine.
head over, no problems at all, are able to set the alarms without getting caught. You do hear conversation inside, and it doesn't seem to be arguing as much as a slow acceptance occurring within.
That could be either way.
There will be some rolls, and we'll see how this all turns out. Iska, I know, is headed back. So Iska and... Oh gosh, did you head off by your... No, you and Dustin. I was like, you didn't head off by yourself. You and Dustin are heading back. And let's so we hear a little bit from Jeanette, because I was like, we've got a 5 o'clock stop time tonight, guys, because I've got to swap over to D&D. So at least we hear some stuff from Jeanette. So Jeanette, you, Iskrin, stars, glowing boulders in the moonlight. Oh, actually, and it looks like Bird has to leave as well. I know his parents are there, so he's going to run.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you, Bird. Have fun with your
Have a
parents.
wonderful time. Enjoy.
So Celia's gonna teach Iskrin how to be a rogue. She's gonna teach him some roguey things.
This can only end well.
This will be awful.
He's
Okay.
very excited. He's so excited that he glows. He glows so
So
bright
first, you're
green.
Already doing it wrong.
So he now is glowing like a giant Chinese lantern out on a dark hilltop.
She just face palms and says, "Dim it down."
It dims. It goes back to being blues and light blues. And he's like, then he thinks for a minute and goes, "Ooh, like this," and goes in, and then he nearly does a thing, but then he stops and goes, "Vice magic is the weave is still screwed up here. I'm not going to go invisible because I nearly just did."
I'm gonna teach you how to go invisible without going invisible.
So stealth lessons, right?
Stealth
Yeah.
lessons.
There's
And I'm going
He's
to
excited.
stealth like into the darkness.
Okay, give me a stealth check. With a 30, you... Iskrin, you're like, you can give it, you go, yeah, whatever you're doing it at disadvantage. So just so you know, eventually lead us up to the stealth check that is about to happen as you see Celia. I mean, you saw her, and then it's like you're surrounded by rocks and alone on a hilltop.
It's because I drank your wine.
Sorry. Celia is going to keep her stealth and just walk around and behind him and just like tap his shoulder.
Yeah, full surprise.
Yeah, there is a. Okay, yeah, there is a. Yeah, there is a teleport 5 feet away, and Lyle's drawn. That is, yep, that's scared. That's scared.
You're gonna teleport?
Then, like,
You're gonna teleport?
yep.
Oh God!
You just
Are you really gonna teleport?
Are
No,
you
we
sure?
All right, so it's going to be a duck and roll over to the side, but it's like the biggest fumble you've ever seen.
Okay. So
Because
you
outside of teleporting magic, he's not good at anything.
you do a horrible attempt at a non-teleport thing as you just remind yourself about not casting. You almost, like, the shimmer starts and you're like, damn it.
It's like, no, stop, can't do that.
So do me an acrobatics check with disadvantage.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be a
Perfect.
natural one. So it is just as bad as you thought.
Celia's
Uh,
gonna be like, no, you have to do it like this, and then she's gonna show him.
Okay, yeah, give me an
How'd you
acrobatics
roll?
check.
So, like, I'd
Okay,
like to
want you
think that he,
roll
like, kind of...
too. No.
Yeah, with
I'd
an
like to think he
18,
kind of trips over his own cloak.
a lovely executed shoulder roll, and sort of coming up and ends up where you're sort of fumbled on the ground. Lyle's like, hey, as he gets sort of bumped and fumbled. But in a beautiful, graceful single motion, we have Celia, who has rolled over and basically lands right next to you as gracefully as if she was, taking her seat at a ballroom table, and is there on the ground next to you as you are pretty much facing the dirt.
And then she just reaches her hand out and says, "Come on, get up."
Okay. And he stands dusts off Lyle because he can't be dirty either. He dusts himself off. He goes, so that was impressive. Okay. All right, let's do this. And he's going to kind of hunch, get low. He's like,
Is he gonna try and stealth away from Celia?
yes. And he's going to look around and he sees like there's a few rocks and outcroppings, and he just waits for the perfect moment and he's going to stealth away. Just being like a little couple of hops, just like boop, 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 boop.
Okay, stealth at disadvantage. Ooh, it's
Hey!
17.
Pretty
Um,
good.
You actually, your sort of glowing blue skin and the paleness of your skin, just by happenstance, actually blends pretty well into these large sort of limestone rock outcroppings in the moonlight. And so, you actually are doing pretty good. Yeah, do me a perception check with advantage, since you basically had your eyes on him, Celia, to see. Yeah, I mean, you can see him, but you're like, others wouldn't. Huh. Who would have thought?
Bad.
Celia's impressed.
Then
Celia,
Ishram blows.
Celia just like claps.
Ishram blows his cover and just basically throws his head out sideways with his braid hanging down. Just go, is that good?
That was good.
You guys have matching braids right now, don't you?
Yeah. You're
so
doing.
cute.
Celia's. And Celia goes, do you want to learn how to hit people in critical areas?
He goes bright blue and like Lyle's in hand. He's like, yeah. Because usually I just like try to hit their
Celia
corpus
goes
with my
over to
weed.
him and she just starts poking like pressure points and says, "This is an area you should hit. This area, and this
Like
area, and this
There's
area."
a spasm, there's a jerk of the head, like his head twitches to the side. He's just like, ow, a couple of times.
And she
So, like,
she looks at Lyle and says, "You have a slashing weapon, so you should also do this." And she just like slices across his neck with her finger. She said, "That's a good spot too."
Yeah. Neck, hamstrings, Achilles tendons. Yeah, all those fun.
That could
vulnerable.
work. That could work. Lyle, that could work. Especially with the Penundrals now. That could work. I could split Lyle and then we could... He's just amazed and like completely overwhelmed at this part. He's like, yeah. It's good.
Cool. So
he's also going to say he's just going to look at her throat as well, and he'll just like get a little dim as well and think back to the cave as it reminds him, and looks at her and just goes, "Hey, I'm sorry that I had to change your mind I had to use magic and to cast that on you to stop you when that was your choice.
Celia just smiles and she places like both of her hands like on his face and just says, "I'm fine." And kisses him.
Aw. There's a kiss back. It's a wonderful scene.
It's a wonderful scene.
we'll
There
say
is-
that he, as he kisses you, some of his energy flows into you, and you find yourself, just the two of you, in a image and a vision of flying through the clouds. And with that, with Iskrin and Celia kissing in the moonlight, we will finish our session. Thank you, everyone,
And
for
on a
tuning in.
happy note, guys!
Yay! Look at that.
I think that was the cutest ending by far.
It's a pretty good.
So, I hope everyone enjoyed today's session. I know it was sort of character building. I had some welcome to East. Welcome to the eastern side of the continent, and new faces and old, and new cultures as well. Let's go around real quick and tell people who you are and where we can find you on the internet, and if you had a good time. Let's start. We'll go ahead and start with good old Templar Warden.
Hello, I am Templar Warden. I was playing Hidden by Axel, the Tabaxi Wizard. And that was an interesting little session. There was actually very little... There was a couple of occasions like, oh, what's going to happen? But it was just nice character moments all around, so that was really great. Particularly Luna, so real good. You may catch me anywhere on the internet as Templar Warden, pretty much. And you may find me on Twitter at Templar, but I do retweets, that's about it. And a couple of events, but that's it.
Dragons or Cats, Kyle. You're muted if you're talking. I can't see your mouth.
Nope, I was just checking if I was muted, and then I just had not muted myself. So that was just a moment of, hey, am I muted? I'm going to check. No, I'm just an idiot. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Dragons or Cats. You can find my links within the chat. It's been a wonderful session, and that was by far the most cutest ending to a Dungeons & Dragons game I've ever been in. And that episode was just incredible. I want to assist Luna in her revolution. No holds bars.
No one has been radicalized.
They're not being radicalized. I didn't say that. I did not say that.
Yet.
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 Calm emotions will change that.
Yes.
Although, actually, frankly, yes, somebody has been radicalized. Luna.
No, she started that way.
Let's move over to Danny Tunarth. I know we didn't see very much of you, but I'm glad we got to see a little bit of what you were doing.
That's okay. I mean, the story goes back and forth, and I was having fun watching. So, yeah, I'm Tunarth in chat here. I'm Colin65 on Twitter. I am here most of the time, except when work forces me not to be here and miss the best episode ever last week, damn it. And
Where's your
then
minor? Sorry, I'm sorry.
I thought of so many responses.
I know.
to
I'm
that,
like
but
sitting here and I literally had to self-edit
It was
about
like,
6 different things because I'm just like,
filter,
I can't say
filter,
that.
filter,
I can't say
filter,
that.
filter.
I can't say that. I can't say
Oh,
that.
you say, where's Iskrins?
Yeah. So,
Exactly. Would be slow.
where can we find you on the internet?
And then hopefully I will also be here tomorrow morning, 8 a.m.
Yep.
Eastern Time for Dungeons and Coffees, where we'll perhaps answer the age-old question, where is Iskrin's little miner?
Yes.
Kel still doesn't know that.
No, he doesn't.
He will.
And it's entirely possible that he never will, because he's not all that interested, to be honest.
You'll find out. Oh, you'll find out.
Oh, because Luck will tell him.
There will be a cute
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
waterfall.
Luck absolutely is going to tell everyone he knows.
I'm more,
have a minor.
I'm more interested to see what happens next week when the entire party, except for me, gets their mounts. Because I don't have one. But you know what? I can be a squirrel. So I'll just hitch a ride.
Excellent.
I
I think Axel has one.
Axel does have a mount.
Oh, he does?
Yes, we had a
Surprise.
donation during the week.
Oh, never mind. I was.
Yep.
Whatever. It'll be fine. We'll work it out.
And then also on Sunday afternoons, 2 p.m. Eastern on T. Fredrickson 80s channel for SLO The Power Within, where NNG9 and I and some other fine players play a very different campaign in Claudia's Brothers a Day.
There you
There you go.
go. Luck, Goldheart, Drunk Boy.
Oh, Drunk Boy, I'm so glad I decided for that because, honest truth, my voice wouldn't have taken any amount of talking that I wanted to do. So, because if I'm going to go look, I go full look. You don't half-ass it. But I've had so much
You're
fun.
going to go
just
minor, you go full minor, you know.
No, censor. Anyway,
Yes.
yeah. So I am Good Guy Pie. I'm an artist. Sometimes I stream and I create my own game systems, which I'm currently working on. Randall's Engine. It is a Cold War steampunk setting, and it's pretty damn cool. And finally, I fixed some classes. They're not as broken as they used to be. It was actually a problem with the weapon damage, not the class itself, is what I figured out. Trial and error, it's a thing. But I had a great time, and I hope everyone else had their great time as well. And I hope, next week I'll be a lot better. And oh no, I won't be here next week.
Oh,
I'm going to a concert. Yes.
okay, cool. We can.
so-
we'll make
We'll
sure
keep
Luck doesn't
switching off his
die.
hangover.
Yeah.
I won't.
Or actually, yeah, we could park you with a hangover. We might do that.
Yeah.
We can
I'll
park
do
you with a
that.
hangover.
It might also be the case I might not be here next week either.
Okay,
So
well,
might
let's
need
all
to-
get together. We'll figure out.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
we'll, off stream. So we will figure out.
But-
There will at least be some of us here. There's still plenty of stuff going on.
Anyway, that's me.
Leisha.
Hello, I am the illustrious Energy 9. You can find me on Twitch where I live stream video games and curse quite profusely. This week we're continuing to play The Witness. I will not let a stupid bubble bank game beat me. You can also find me at NNG98 on Twitter, where I tweet a bunch of random stuff, like live tweet stuff. I would live tweet Drag Race, but I don't have the channel in Canada. And as Tunark mentioned, I'm a player in T. Fredrickson's 80 Sunday game at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Esla the Power Within, where I play Claudia Vingard. And then I'm also a member of her Friday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time game, The Bloody Bucket, where I play Takarna Alfonso. Totally different.
Woohoo!
Also fun.
And last but not least, we have Jeanette, who's out Rogan and romancing on the hilltops.
I actually saw somebody type in the chat silliest idea of a romantic date is showing Niskrin how to kill. I'm like, basically,
Yeah,
she's a
that's
rogue
accurate.
assassin with a
Yeah.
criminal background. Of course, that's her idea of a romantic date.
It's definitely not fine tuned.
Anyway, a Dragon Druid. You can go find me on Twitter. I will link it in the chat. I don't really tweet anything ever, but I retweet whenever people are streaming their D&D games. So
Woo.
follow me if you want to know if people are streaming D&D games.
And
Oh,
I am
and-
Tallsquall. Oh, sorry.
Oh, and I did want to mention, because it's not in my head to mention it, but other people convinced me to put up on YouTube the music that I've been writing for the campaign over the course of the year. So if you want to hear the music that has been playing during Dungeons and Coffees every Sunday, everything's up there on my YouTube channel. Just look for Tunarth and you'll find me. And there's actually 2 new pieces up.
Awesome.
Lily's theme that I wrote,
It's so good.
and you'll probably hear tomorrow morning, and also a Kel's Forest
Nice.
theme has
Link is in
been
chat.
Oh yes, thank you. I'm not
Awesome.
It's-
And that's great. No, everyone, we all love the music that that Danny does for our campaign, and we hope you go and check it out. Give him a follow there on YouTube so you can see whenever he posts something new. I am Tallsquall. I can be found here on Saturdays at 2 o'clock till 5 o'clock doing the Vice, and in just 1 hour, you can find me on season 2 of Learn by Play over on the Dungeons and Dragons channel with Encounter Roleplay, where
Episode 1.
we will be reinventing the realms. What is reinventing with the realms, you say? Some of your old favorite modules out there being converted or run in 5e. So if you've ever, for all those folks who've played lots of other modules and other different editions, check it out as we reinvent the realms to be played in the new world of 5th edition. So come and check it out. I might have totally just given you all a spoiler. Oops. But anyway, I think we announced that. I claim we announced that. Anyway, if we didn't, don't pretend like you don't know when you show up. So you can find me over there. You can also find me on Turncloaks. Episode 21 releases tomorrow, and I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to all the people who listen to Turncloaks. And then you can find me in the Long March on Tuesday nights over on Encounter Roleplay channel. So until then, as you see, we love to do it. So you should too, because why not? I really didn't transition the way I did. We just gather your friends together and tell a story, because that's what really matters, folks.
Toodaloo.
Woo! Pro streamer. Bye-bye.
Bye.